Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Drafts Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to try to bring you the game between the Chunichi Dragons and the Yomiuri Giants. And we are going to give you, first of all, the starting lineup for the visitors from Yomiuri. And leading off and playing second base is going to be number 32, Taishi Hiruka. Batting second and playing first base is number 55, Yuto Akiro. Batting at third and in left field is number 44, Adam Walker. In the cleanup spot and playing third base is number 25, Kazuma Okamoto. Batting in the fifth spot is the right fielder, number 8, Yoshihiro Maru. Batting in the sixth spot and playing in center field is number 42, Lewis Brinson. Batting seventh and playing shortstop is number 40, Rito Nakayama. Batting eighth and doing the catching is 67, Shinsuke Yamasi, and batting ninth and doing the pitching is Kai Yokogawa. And we are already underway as we've got our feet a little bit behind. It is 2 balls and 1 strike to the leadoff hitter, Hiruka, and he takes a breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hiruka batting 200 on the season with no homers and 1 RBI. There is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We'll get you caught up on the Dragons lineup in the bottom half of the inning. We'll get caught up on everybody in the chat. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Moving back onto the warning track and looking up and watching it sail into the seats is the left fielder, Ito. And just like that, the Giants are on the board with a leadoff home run by Taishi Hiruka. As he is going to smack his first home run of the season, he rounds the bases. And the Giants have themselves an early 1-0 lead here in the first inning. And that is going to bring up the first baseman, Yuto Akihiro. Well, for Yuto Akihiro, he's hitting .375 on the season with a homer and 5 RBIs. He steps up to the plate here, so the Giants leading 1-0 here in the first inning on that home run by Hiruka. Could be lots of fireworks here in Golden Week as there's a fastball that misses inside. They appeal down to the third base umpire, but they say he didn't go, and that's 1 ball and no strikes to Akihiro. That ball ended up in about the 4th row into a bunch of Giants fans. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Akihiro. The lefty Ogasawara delivers again. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. A little bit behind in our stuff here. We welcome everybody. BVP, Living Room, Alexander Leggett. We thank everybody for being in here tonight. As there's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul, and the count is now 1-2. BVCP says, well, hopefully they keep scoring for you. Well, we hope so, too. Here comes the 1-2 offering. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2. The problem last night was that they kept scoring, and the game kept going on forever between the Buffaloes and the Hawks. 4.5 hours and 11 innings later, the game finally came to a halt. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. So there's some positives and some negatives. Last night it was like a heavyweight match, watching those 2 clubs go back and forth against one another. So 1-2 here to Akihiro as the left-hander gets ready to go again. He gets the sign from his catcher, Kinoshita, as he comes set to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. And Akihiro is going to be in the books for the first out of the inning. So 1 away, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Adam Walker. Well, Adam Walker, he's hitting .368 on the season. He's got a homer and 4 RBIs. He has been absolutely stellar this year. It's his second tour, the Yomiuri Giants. He came over last year from the United States. The right-handed hitting left fielder waiting here on the offering from Ogasawara, and it's a breaking ball that misses outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Walker bats from the right side against the lefty, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. And the count now is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. So a firecracker start to this one as the Giants have themselves a 1-0 lead. And there is a breaking ball that is swung at and fouled away, and the count remains now at 1-2 to Walker. As we said, a little bit of a crash start in this one. We'll get you the Dragons lineup in the bottom half of the first inning. We'll only take a mini timeout on the in-between. So 1-0 here for the Giants over the Dragons, with one gone here in the first. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line. That keeps the count at 1-2 strikes. Defensively tonight for the Dragons, in the outfield from left to right, it is Ito in left. The center fielder is Okabayashi. The right fielder is Hasakawa. We'll get you the infield in a moment as Ogasawara comes to the set position, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. The infield around the horn is Dan Visaedo at first base. It is Fukunaga at second. The shortstop is Muramatsu. And at the hot corner, it is Ishikawa with the battery of Ogasawara and Kinoshita. And here comes the pitch from Ogasawara. It's a ball waved at and missed. And after the first home run, Ogasawara has struck out the next two batters he's faced. That's going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Kazuma Okamoto. Well, for Okamoto, he's hitting .327 on the season. He's got 4 homers and 11 RBIs. Living Room says, tell us what you think about Ogasawara. Well, right now, after the opening home run, he has settled down pretty quickly. There's a fastball that's delivered for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. I have to get a look at him over the course of a few innings here to see how he is going to work the zone. There's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. BVP asked the question, any thoughts on the Bauer debut? I saw some of the headlines. I don't know if they matched necessarily what we saw. I had some comments in our comment section. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit in front of the right fielder, Hasakawa. So Okamoto has got himself a 2-out single, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Yoshihiro Maru. For Morrow on the season, he's batting .197 with a couple of homers and 5 RBIs. Back to Bauer for a minute there. So some people said it was a dominating performance. I don't think the word dominating was appropriate. It was a solid performance. It looked like he is still trying to gain the command of his pitches. He had some very good stretches. He was very fortunate. I believe it was in the 4th inning he was able to get out of a situation. And then, of course, there was some timely hitting to go with it that was able to help him and support him get that victory. There's a fastball delivered to Maru, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Alexander Leggett said Bauer looked good but not great, got out of a few jams. Yeah, a couple of jams, and as I said, his stuff, even though he struck out 9, was not in the best of form. So that ought to have served notice to the rest of the NPB. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded right to Visaedo on a hop. And that is going to require Maru on a ground out to 3 for the 3rd out of the inning. There was 1 run in the inning. It was the leadoff home run by Hiruka. And there were 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left the board. We're through a half inning. It is the Giants 1 and the Dragons coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for being here with us. We got another one for our good friend, and that would be a shotgun shell. Welcome back, everybody. We'll give you the starting lineup for the home team for Chunichi. Leading off and in center field is Yuki Okabayashi. Batting second and left field is Kazuki Ito. Hitting third and in right field is Seiya Hosokawa. And the cleanup spot and playing third base is Takeya Ishikawa. Batting fifth at first base is number 66, Dayan Visaedo. Batting in the sixth spot is the second baseman, number 68, Yuki Fukunaga. Hitting in the seventh spot is the catcher, number 35, Takuya Kinoshita. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is number 5, Kaito Muramatsu. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is number 11, Shinosuke Ogasawara. And they are going to be facing It's going to be Kai Yokogawa who takes to the hill for the Giants tonight. The lefty is 2-2 on the year. He's worked 19 innings. He's allowed 18 hits, 7 runs, all of which have been earned. He has walked 2 and struck out 7. And he's got an ERA of 3.32. So the Dragons are in their traditional gray uniform, road uniforms with the orange and black trim. They don't have any nameplates on the back of the jerseys. The Dragons are in their home whites. The only thing that's missing here is Tom Selleck in the lineup. Our friend BVP says he loves the 10 p.m. start specific for the NPB games. And we appreciate you to be able to do that. We are going to be doing another Baystar game in the future. There is a breaking ball that's down, but up goes the right hand of the umpire. As they said, Okabayashi went around for a strike. So no balls and 1 strike. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on it. Is popped up into shallow left field. Moving back underneath it is the shortstop who's waving everybody away. And it is going to be Nakayama who's going to put that one away for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Kazuki Ito. Well, for Ito, this is only his second game of the season. Ito is 1 for 1 on the year. As we almost lost our feed there, where we have to do a couple. We've got 2 feeds running here. And so hopefully you guys will stay connected with us. The first pitch is on the way. It's a fastball delivered for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Ito. Ito 1 for 1 on the season. This is his second at bat of the year, and there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the lefty delivers, there's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count is now 1-2. Our friend the living room says a Tom Selleck ad would be awesome. What would be more awesome would be the mustache that goes with it. There's a breaking ball that swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side, or maybe even possibly on top of that, the Hawaiian shirt that would go with it. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Ito as the lefty kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and it is fouled away straight back. And the count remains at 1-2. BVP says he's not used to an average Giants team, and this is kind of where the Giants are right now. In fact, I would even say they're not even average. For them, they're below average, and they are going to have to pick it up. But where they need to pick it up is on the mound, as there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is going to read down 2-2 to Ito. Shosi Togo carrying the mail and a couple of other ones, and then after that, it is downhill quickly. As the lefty rocks into the motion, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is golfed into left field. Moving back on it is Walker. He drifts back and makes the catch. And that is going to retire Ito for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and this is going to bring up the right fielder, Seiya Hasakawa. Our friend Shotgun Shell says that I'm on a roll already in this one. Yeah, absolutely. We're on fire tonight. The living room can attest to that. His ears were on fire earlier. Call the fire department. And there is a first pitch breaking ball that is delivered and swung on and missed by Hasakawa. And the count is quickly 0-1. Hasakawa on the season batting .304. No homers and 12 RBIs. And the pitch is on the way. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul down the right field line. And the count is now 0-2. If I'm not mistaken, Hasakawa had spent time with the Yokohama Dana Baystars. This is his first season with Chunichi. And that I am correct. He spent the first 6 years of his career in a Baystars uniform. There's a fastball that misses in, and the count is 1-2. And never really broke form with them. He had he's batting a career .230 for tonight's ball game. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted foul over on the first base side, and the count now remains at 1-2 to Hasakawa. If I have enough energy and this game doesn't go on like last night's game, maybe I'll stick around and do another game late night. We're considering it. Back-to-back ball games, we would be up burning the midnight oil. Not sure what we would do, though. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. We'll have to get through this one first and see how we feel if we're going to do the double dip. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Hasakawa is waiting on the offering here from the lefty who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow right field. It's going to drop in over the head of the second baseman. And Hasakawa is aboard with a leadoff single here. A 2-out single here. Maybe that ought to tell you why we're not going to do the second game. And that's going to bring up the third baseman, Takaya Ishikawa. Ishikawa on the season batting .259. He's got a homer and 4 RBIs. Defensively tonight for the Giants, from left field to right field, it's Walker in center, Walker's in left, Lewis Brinson is in center, and Yoshihiro Maru is in right. Around the horn from first to third, Akihiro is at first, Haruka at second, the shortstop is Nakayama, and the third baseman is Okamoto, with the battery of Yokogawa and Yamasi. So here we are ready to go back underway, and the first pitch is a breaking ball delivered to Ishikawa. That's taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Alexander Leggett says he could perhaps call the second game, but it would be about 5 a.m. for him. There's a breaking ball delivered, and that's also taken for a called strike. The count is 0-2 here to Ishikawa. No balls and 2 strikes. And last night, too, the game just got going, or the game started to get going in that latter part. Alexander Leggett has checked out a couple of times where the games got really exciting, and last night was one of them. So here comes the offering, and it's a breaking ball that is down. They appeal to the first base umpire. And that is going to run the count at 1-2 to Ishikawa. BVP says he might try to make it for a second game, but that might make his workday a little tough. Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll do the double dip or not. We'll have to wait and see. So the lefty, Yokogawa, ready to go here as he works to the set position. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on a grounded foul just past the third base coach's box. And the count remains at 1-2 strikes. There's only one other game going on underway in the NPB, and that game is between the Tokyo Yakult Swallows and the Yokohama Dana Bay Stars. That game is also in the early stages, bottom of the first, nothing there. There's a fastball swung on. This ball has popped up into shallow right field. Moving over underneath it is the right fielder Maru. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it. And that will retire the Dragons here in their half of the inning. Well, they got no runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 1 complete. Your score is the Giants 1, the Dragons 0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. I have to get ourselves set up over here as well, as we are just getting ourselves settled in for this one. We'll be right back in just a couple right after this.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game, really exciting, lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving here to the top of the second inning, and your score is 1-0 for the Giants over the Chunichi Dragons. It is going to be Lewis Brinson, Rito Nakayama, and the catcher Shinosuke Yamase coming to the plate here to face the left-hander Ogasawara. Ogasawara served up that home run to begin the ball game to Haruka, and he retired a couple of outs via the strikeout. And we would expect a lot of those here tonight. There is a first pitch breaking ball that drops in for a called strike to Brinson, and the count is 0-1. Brinson had actually squared the bunt, and he pulled back. And so he took that one for a strike. With Sawara ready to go again, here comes the offering. And it is a fastball swung on, and this one is fouled away. And the count is now 0-2 to Brinson. Brinson on the season batting .268. 4 homers and 16 RBIs. For those of you who aren't familiar with Brinson, he, of course, was once upon a time a jewel piece in the trade for Christian Yelich. Milwaukee sent him to the Miami Marlins as there's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and Brinson is down on strikes for out number 1. So 1 Giant up and 1 Giant down, and that's going to bring up Rito Nakayama. Just to finish off a little bit there on Brinson, as we said, he was one of the jewel pieces. He never lived up to his billing. He ended up bouncing around a little bit in the MLB. Spent time with the San Francisco Giants organization, and he may be able to find himself a home in the NPB. Not quite good enough to stick in the MLB, and too good for AAA in some ways, as there's a first pitch fastball that misses outside to Nakayama. So 1 ball and no strikes. Nakayama hitting .231 on the year. With no homers and 3 RBIs, there's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul just past the bag at first base, and the count goes to 1-1. Ogasawara wastes very little time. He gets the ball, he is at full speed ahead, and he is ready to go. There is no pitch clock needed here when he is on the mound, as the lefty kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. Think of the pitch clock that Major League Baseball offers to speed the game along. Well, if Ogasawara works like this, it's going to be a very quick game. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to right field. It's off the wall. It's played on a couple of hops by the right fielder, and digging for second and cruising in, standing up with a double, is the shortstop Nakayama. So a 1-out double here, and that's going to bring up the catcher Shinosuke Yamase. Well, for Yamase, he is 0 for 2 on the season. He's getting the start here tonight. Interesting to see how they manage their pitchers and their catchers, and I say that because I think about some of these things. Friend BVP, I haven't been keeping up with the chat here. BVP says that he likes the Yokohama pick living room. Give me the props for that. So here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball that just misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0 to Yamase. Our friend Mick is in the house tonight. Appreciate you for showing up there, big fella. Mick sent me an email earlier on, and I saw it when I was coming out the door. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I'll try to catch up on that a little later. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Maybe I'll do 2 games if Mick sticks around for the 2 games. That doubleheader. Alexander Leggett says he likes that increase in the action. Games are going 30 minutes quicker. That is definitely a positive, that extra 30 minutes. There's a breaking ball that just misses down. That pitch looked pretty good, but the umpire did not give that one to Ogasawara. The count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Not familiar with these 2 teams as well as we are with the Pacific League. Staying with the Pacific League with the 6 teams, you get very familiar with the players. Here we do the Central League games casually. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count is now 2-2. I have to say I do like getting some games in because maybe this will give us a little bit more excitement for when we do the interleague play. Looking forward to the interleague play that's coming up in another couple of weeks. Excited for that action. 6 weeks, or not 6 weeks, but 6 series of interleague play. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Yamase is in the books. That's strikeout number 4 for Ogasawara. So 2 gone here with the runner at second, and that's going to bring up the pitcher, Kai Yokogawa. Our friend Mick says that saying double dip is old school. I guess double dip in a different couple of ways. Double dip as far as double headers, and double dip as far as maybe putting some chew between the cheek and gum. I don't know if you could say that so often. Well, it's going to bring the pitcher Yokogawa to the plate. He's 0 for 5 on the season, looking for his first hit. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So left-hander against the left-hander. It's the one thing I do like. I do like watching the pitchers hit, because not all pitchers can hit. Some pitchers stand in there. It is in art. Some pitchers can. I think of the Nishi cousins who play for the Hanshin Tigers. Both can swing the bat pretty well. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's chopped foul into the mask of the catcher, and that's going to run the count to 0-2 to Yokogawa. You think of some of the big league pitchers in recent times, guys that have swung the bat well. Miss Madison Bumgarner hitting. Of course, you've got Shohei Ohtani, and you think about a number of years ago, you had Mike Hampton and Carlos Zambrano, good hitting pitchers. A lot of pitchers don't take it seriously, or maybe they don't work at it as enough, or maybe they don't go and spend the time working on their bunts as they should. As there's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kai Yokogawa. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. As the lefty checks the runner and now delivers, there's a slow breaking ball swung on it. It's chopped over to third. Fielded on the backhand by the third baseman, Ishikawa. He throws to first on a couple of hops, and it's going to nail the pitcher Yokogawa on a ground out 5-3 to end the inning. Oh, that was a nice play. And that is going to do it here for the Giants in their half of the second. They got no runs in the inning. They did get a hit. It was the double by Nakayama. There is no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 1.5. It is the Giants 1 and the Dragons no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action after this. We appreciate you for being here.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred with Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters to come to bat for the Dragons. That means Dan Visayedo, Yuki Fukunaga, and Takuya Kinoshita to face the left-hander Kai Yokogawa here in the bottom of the second inning. A good crowd here at the stadium in Nagoya. Of course, the stadium that they play at is the Bantalin Dome. And it used to be one time known as just the Nagoya Dome, but that is where they call them home. Friend BVP says some salsa music. Got to keep you guys hopping and moving around. That is for sure. Have to keep me awake here tonight. Got the hot chocolate going. Allergies are seemingly a little bit better. We've been taking that fast-actin Reactin to knock them down so we're not hacking and coughing and spitting all over the place. That would be for a terrible stream. That is where we are at here. So Visayedo, Fukunaga, and Kinoshita to come to bat. As it may look like we have possibly temporarily lost our feed there only for a moment as we are back at it. As Visayedo has stepping up to the plate. Visayedo was the Chicago White Sox first baseman before Jose Abreu. And what I liked about Visayedo is he's come over and carved himself out a nice career in Japan. 8 years as he has been with the Chunichi Dragons. There's a breaking ball taken for a call and strike, and the count is 0-1. It's interesting when you look at some teams in the Japanese league, how they gravitate to certain nationalities. Some of the teams will gravitate to the more Latin base of players, as the 0-1 is on the way, and there's a breaking ball that just misses, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend BVP says the fast act and reactant has worked. There is a breaking ball that swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count is now 1-2. That ball there, it looked like it may have caught the shin of Visaito. Or maybe even off the toe. It looks like it may have caught him off the top of the foot. Our friend the living room is looking and craving some attention, as he is posted his picks at the top of the chat here. If you guys are interested in wanting to know who he thinks is going to win some ball games after today, he's going to be posting them up on his channel, so you get an opportunity to be able to go and to watch it there. As we are going to have to flip over to our B feed here, because we are getting some challenges in terms of the feed itself. We'll try to stay with you here on this, as looks like Visaito has got a 1-2 count on him, and he's ready to go again back to work as the lefty who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it is the right fielder, and that is going to be hauled in there by Maru for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Yuki Fukunaga. And so far, if it goes like this, it's going to be a bit of a tough slog, I have a feeling, tonight. As Fukunaga steps up to the bat. He is batting .313 with no homers and 4 RBIs. And here comes the offering from the lefty, and it misses outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0 to Fukunaga. So we're hoping we are going to get through some of these glitches here. This would absolutely not be a lot of fun. The fastball swung on. It is grounded over to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman, Haruka, who throws to first, and that is going to retire Fukunaga on a ground out 4-3. So 2 up and 2 away here in the second inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Takuya Kinoshita. I think of the old school. When I think of old school, I think of the way that the hockey games used to be called back in the 1950s, and even earlier than that, where they would get the ticker coming in, and the person who would be calling the game would actually be somewhere else, maybe in Toronto or wherever it was. As the first pitch is delivered to Kinoshita, and it's going to miss for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Again, the lefty delivers. It's swung on. It's a fastball popped up. It's going to sail off into foul territory, and that's going to run the count even to 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is to Kinoshita, as we again are losing our feed here. So hopefully this will sort itself out. That's what you get in the Central League. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Kinoshita. So 2 balls and 1 strike. BVP asks the question if we're located in Japan or in the U.S. No, we're actually located north. There's a breaking ball that swung on and tapped foul over on the third base side. That's going to run the count to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, might maybe think about calling these games from Singapore in the future. Maybe that might be a better option. Here's the 2-2 pitch. As it's on the way, it's a fastball swung on. It is popped up behind home plate. Racing back on is the catcher, Yamasi, but it's going to drift into the seats. It's going to keep the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. BVP says, Canada's great, big fan as an American. Well, that's always good to hear. Hopefully you stay with us through the summertime when we will be making our journey around Japan. Hopefully you guys will get a chance to hang with us while we're looking at the Bay Stars and all the teams in the Tokyo and pretty much everywhere except for the area of Sapporo. And there's a fastball swung on his line right to the third baseman. And that's going to be caught by Okamoto, and that is going to end it here for the Dragons in their half of the second inning. Well, for the Dragons, they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 2 complete innings. Your score is the Giants 1, the Dragons no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments with all the action. Here is our good friend Steve Rademacher.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, ooh, I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shoot tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order coming up for the Giants. That's Haruka, Akihiro, and Walker to face the lefty here, as Ogasawara ready to go again as he completes his warm-up tosses. Ogasawara in the first inning threw 24 pitches, able to retire the side. He was much more economical in his second inning of work, as I had him for 16 pitches, so he's got 40 through the first 2 innings. As we're ready to go, here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Be looking forward to some of that stuff. Our BVP says visiting Yokohama Stadium would be a dream. That's a very interesting-looking stadium. When we watched it the other night, it looked like you needed a parachute to get out of the right field stands. It looked like it was straight down, as that fastball is swung on and fouled off the foot of Haruka. So no balls and 2 strikes. Got it right on the top of the left foot. If anybody has ever fouled a fastball off of their foot in their lifetime playing this game, that is extremely painful. So no balls and 2 strikes. And they got to shake it off and keep right on going. Here comes the offering from Ogasawara. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. And there's nothing more that you want to do. Is if you've fouled a pitch off of your leg or your foot, if you're the pitcher, you want to go right back to that same pitch again to see if the hitter A can make the adjustment, or B, if he can't, it's probably going to go right back in the same spot. And if you can repeat that pitch, that's what you want to do. There's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and is lifted foul behind home plate. And the count is going to keep constant at no balls and 2 strikes. So here comes the offering now from the lefty, as he kicks and delivers as a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Haruka. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Friend in the living room is offering his thoughts about how he would want to vacation as a group. And that has changed. So here comes the 1-2 offering. As the lefty delivers, it's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to second. It is bobbled by the second baseman, Fukunaga, but he is able to recover and throw to first, and that's going to retire Haruka on a ground out 4-3. He had bobbled the ball. Ball was well struck. That ball was taken on about 3 hops, ended up funneling up into his chest. As he went to reach for it barehanded, he couldn't quite get it, and then he had to take a second stab at it. He was able to retire the runner by a step, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Akihiro. And the first pitch to Akihiro is a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. Akihiro 0 for 1 tonight in this one. He struck out his first time up as he swings and misses at another pitch, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. I don't want to jinx myself, but hopefully right now we are hopefully going to have to be able to find this out here. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and Akihiro goes down on strikes. That's out number 2, and that is going to be strikeout number 5 here in the early going for Ogasawara. So some pretty good pitching here by the lefty. Just some news and notes in the NPB. The pitchers who traditionally wear number 18 are considered to be the ace of the staff. So if you've been issued number 18, you are considered to be the ace. As the honorable number for the starters, there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Adam Walker. Walker 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. Bats here against the lefty Ogasawara, and there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1. When you think of some of those who are adorning that number right now, of course, first one that comes to my mind is Yoshinobu Yamamoto. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Walker. Certain players over time, even positional players, will be issued different type of numbers that are important to their team. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Walker. But again, sometimes not all the pitchers will wear the honored 18 or would seem to be wearing the honored 18. Some players will wear different numbers, they maybe 17 or whatever else it might be. Sometimes if they have come into the league wearing something else, they choose not to do it. But typically 18 is revered. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. Our friend BVP says, you all have Twitter. I'd love to follow more NPB English-speaking fans. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 3-2. The one person that you have to follow if you don't follow is, the NPB Reddit. Puts out a great site. It's a Swallows fan. Don't hold that against him. But he does an excellent job with the stuff on the daily. And there's a breaking ball swung on it. It's grounded over to third. Fielded by Okamoto, or fielded by the third baseman, Ishikawa, who throws to first. That's going to retire Walker on a ground out, 5-3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Giants in their half of the third. Well, that's 5 in a row retired by Ogasawara. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now through 2.5. Your score is the Giants won, the Dragons no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Appreciate you, Matt Hollis, and the support you give to our channel. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for listening here. It is the Giants and the Dragons in Game 1 of our potential doubleheader tonight. If we do 2, be sure to stick it out with us. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. The Dragons are sending up the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat. That means it's going to be Muramatsu, Ogasawara, and the top of the order in Okabayashi. 8-9-1 to come to bat. And the first offering is on its way, and it is a fastball for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Muramatsu. Muramatsu on the season is batting .247, no homers and 1 RBI. There's a breaking ball that just misses, and the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Left-hander against the left-hander. The pitcher rocks into the motion and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is now 1-2. Yokogawa has been very impressive so far in his work. He has retired 6 of the 7 batters he's faced. As there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lefty ready to go back at it is Yokogawa. He reached for the rosin bag, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It is tap foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 2-2. 32 pitches in his first 2 innings of work. We talk about being economical. He has not gone to a full count yet on any hitter. This, of course, may be the kiss of death here, and the pitch is on its way. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Walker, who's been busy here, makes the second out of his night, and that is going to retire Muramatsu for the second out of the inning, or first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the pitcher, Shinosuke Ogasawara. And that may be why we aren't going to do the second game tonight. We're not as sharp as we want to be. We kept getting harassed there by the living room pregame. Told we have to get our game face on, otherwise we start fumbling over stuff. And so, anyways, that's going to bring up the pitcher to hit. So here comes the first offering as the lefty delivers. It is a breaking ball. It's taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Ogasawara batting here against the lefty Yokogawa. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and now the count goes to 0-2. I also like the fact that the pitchers are hitting in the lineup, because when that happens, it also forces again, we talked about it earlier. I mentioned it earlier about the positives about pitchers who can hit. But I also like to see it does speed up the game, because you've got a dead out, in essence, in the lineup, or a dead bat in the lineup. As that breaking ball missed inside, and the count is 1-2 to Ogasawara. Ogasawara batting .200 on the year. He's 2 for 10 with no homers and 2 RBIs. As that breaking ball misses down, and the count is 2-2. More importantly, what would be an interesting statistic, at least in the National League or the American League of Interleague play in the United States, who was the last, I wonder who the last pitcher was to steal a base, or how many pitchers stole a base. There's a fastball swung on it, has popped up over to the shortstop. Camping out underneath it is Nakayama, who makes the catch, and that's going to retire Ogasawara for the second out of the inning. But even in the Japanese League, I'd like to know how many pitchers have stolen bases in the 2022 season. I guess we could go through the NPB site and take a look and see how many pitchers have stolen bases. I think that would be pretty cool to see. I mean, obviously, you can see pitchers hit home runs. Did the ball hit the bat, or did the bat hit the ball? It's who knows. And here comes the first offering from the lefty, who kicks and delivers a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count is 0-1 to Okabayashi. Okabayashi 0 for 1 tonight. He popped to the shortstop his first time up. Left-hander against the left-hander, and the pitch is on its way. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike it is to the leadoff hitter, Okabayashi. 2 gone here in the third. And the pitch on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. The starter here for the Giants is kind of reflecting what his season's been like. And that is, he doesn't walk many. Only 2 walks in his 9 innings of work. There's a breaking ball swung on, is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back on it is Brinson. He backpedals as he catches it on the warning track. And that is going to retire Okabayashi for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Dragons in their half of the third. We're moving quickly. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of the 4th inning. Your scores: the Giants 1, the Dragons no score. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the top of the 4th inning in just a couple moments. We appreciate you for being here. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the Giant batting order to come to bat here to face the lefty Oga Sawara. That means it's going to be Okamoto, Maru, and Brinson for 5 and 6 in the batting order. Okamoto tonight is 1 for 1. He singled his first time up, but he was stranded at first base in the first inning. As Oga Sawara ready to go back to work as he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that just misses low for ball one, and the count is 1-0. Interesting stats, of course. It was Shotgun Shell pointing out it was Kurt Simmons of the Cardinals, who in 63 stole home. As that fastball misses, and the count is now 2-0 to Okamoto. Alexander says apparently only 80 in the history of the MLB ever to have stolen a base. Pitchers, that is. I was going to say, can't be too many. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and that's now 3-0. For some reason in my mind, I want to say about the last year before they started to go with universal DH, I want to say there was like 2 stolen bases in that year. There's a fastball that's swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 2-1. And I think, and I'm going to throw it out there, I don't know the direct answer to this, but I think Marcus Stroman had one, if my memory serves me right. And of all things, I think Zach Greinke had another. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 3-2. Our friend Arizona Cardinals ask who we have in this game. I don't have anybody actually in this game tonight. I probably would edge toward the starter for the Dragons, but they're already in the hole 1-0 as there's a fastball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4, and Okamoto's going to get himself a leadoff walk. So that is going to be the runner at first. That'll bring up Yoshihiro Maru to the plate. Our friend Living Room says he's going to bounce out of here for about an hour. The place will never be the same without you. Our friend BVP says Zach Greinke, another fantastic hitting pitcher. Yes, I remember when Zach Greinke hit his first major league home run for the Royals. And he had crossed the plate and he had looked up and pointed to the owner's box because he wanted to swing the bat more. He wanted to be a hitter. He is certainly an interesting guy. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Maru. Maru 0 for 1 as he grounded out to first his first time up. Our friend BVP asked the question, are the Bay Stars going to win it all this season? You know, they really played well last year, did Yokohama. In the second half of the season, their fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-2. And the addition of Bauer, I think, is going to put them potentially over the hump. You know, that's when you go into a short series, or you go into before you get into the Japan series, you get into one of these series against the other teams, and Bauer is one of your starters. He could walk right through a series for you. And there is a breaking ball that, I don't know what exactly happened there. It looked like the catcher whiffed on it and he wore it off his mask. I have to get a look at that on the replay again. That was bizarre. Came inside. Did it hit the bat? Oh, it did. It hit the bat. It was a foul ball there off the bat of Maru. Ended up hitting the catcher right in the mask, and it was wild. It was he tried to hold up on his swing. So Sawara here ready to go back to work as his catcher has sorted himself out. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside. Misses for a ball. They appeal down to the third base umpire, but they say Maru didn't go. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We got Jovan Torre in the house here tonight. Welcome, Jovan. Glad you could pop in here with us. BBP says it's the best team that the Bay Stars have had in his lifetime. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-2. Shotgun Shell says Greinke calls his own pitchers, and he shook himself off this season. It's kind of funny that happens. Sometimes you also have a signal for the shake-off. The signal for the shakeoff could be a variety of different things. And so the catcher, when he drops the signal down, can do it. But yes, you're right. Now that they have the communication, it can be that way. There's a throw over to first base, and getting back in time is Okamoto. I forget who it was. They were telling the story about they were playing using these electronic devices. And what had happened is they were playing in one of the empty stadiums in the COVID year. I believe it was the COVID year, or in one of these partially filled stadiums. There's a fastball that just misses outside. The count goes to 3-2 to Maru. And one of the teams had the volume turned up too loud on the pitch. And so the other team heard every pitch that was coming in from the catcher's earpiece. So they literally knew what was coming. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that's down, and that is going to be ball 4. So back-to-back walks here to begin the 4th inning as Maru's got himself a walk. Okamoto is going to advance over to second, and that is going to bring Lewis Brinson to the plate, and it's also going to bring a conference to the mound as the pitching coach for the Dragons is on his way out. So back to the base star talk for a second as BVP brought that up. My thoughts on the base stars is that obviously with the pitching that they had before, and now the addition of Bauer, that gives them a real huge needle pushed in their direction. Whether they can win it all or not, the Pacific League, I really like the Hawks offense this year. I like what they're doing on the mound. On top of it, you got the Oryx Buffaloes who won it last year. You have the opportunity to defend. I think even though they lost Yoshida, I think they're better offensively this year. I don't see the Eagles. I don't see the Fighters making the playoffs. The other teams will be the Lions and the Marines, and I'm really surprised at how well the Marines are playing in the early going. I didn't see that out of them. I think the Lions will be the 3rd seed. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Brinson. Brinson struck out his first time up. He was fed a steady diet of breaking balls from Ogasawara. I would expect more of the same here to the American right-handed hitting center fielder. Fred Titus says we had a big earthquake. When did the earthquake come through, Titus? I've been seeing flashes on the game feed, and they've been showing it was almost like it was in the, and maybe if I'm wrong, the Kanazawa area, middle north of the country, I would possibly say, if that is the case. I wonder if it's going to affect our friend Andy up in the Sapporo region. If he checks in later tonight, maybe we'll ask him. They snap throw over to first base, and getting back in time is the base runner. Interesting that they did that. You very rarely see stuff, but it looks like the manager for the Dragons has come out. He wants to get a check on this. And the umpires are going to go off and have a look. So Titus says that it just hit by Ishikawa and Nagata. Interesting. Also interesting that sometimes that's the case. Our friend Alexander Leggett says he misses Tyler Austin, but he had a dog year in 2022. Yeah, when you live in an earthquake area, it is a lot of stuff could go on. I have to say that where I've lived here on the West Coast, I have not experienced an earthquake yet. Knock on wood on that one. There's always tremors. You always see it. You always see the reports where there was a epicenter, especially on Vancouver Island or maybe even in Washington State. And there are tremors all around, but it's gone unnoticed by me. Maybe one time I think that maybe we've had it, but there's so much construction that's going on where I live in the area. It's hard to tell if it's the truck rolling down the street or if it is the actual earthquake, if that was the case. We really don't get a lot of information where people are being told of it, but they do say that we are in obviously a situation where you could get that. We are in this Pacific Rim area, being in the Pacific Northwest. He also said the Shinkansen train stopped. Yeah, that would probably stop the train for sure. You don't want a derailment of a train going at 200 whatever miles an hour. So we're waiting for the umpires to come back with the verdict. So just so that you understand, the runners were at first and second. It was a bizarre play because normally Vis Saedo would not be holding a runner on at first base, which he was not. So it was a bit of a timing play as the pitcher had thrown over to first, and Vis Saedo had come in on the backside, caught the ball, and applied the tag. Here comes the umpires with the verdict, and the verdict is going to be safe. So the call stands. So a wasted challenge here by the Dragons. They lose one of their challenges. They'll have one left. BVP says that Tyler Austin had a rough 2022 campaign. Yeah, too bad for Tyler Austin. I mean, injuries besieged him in the big leagues. He had that run there. What was it with the Yankees? And was it 17? I think it was. He had a half a season where he looked like he was going to be great. Then he ended with, I believe, the Twins and the Giants. And I think he was maybe even with Milwaukee, something like that. Never got it figured out. And here's the first pitch. It's a breaking ball delivered to Brinson, who squares to bunt. And that ball misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-1 on Brinson. Tyler Austin never able to keep it going at the big league level. Ended up moving over to Japan, and he had some bright spots in Japan as well. So here comes the 1-1 to Brinson. As the lefty holds set, Ogasawara checks the runner at second. Brinson squaring to bunt again. And the pitch is delivered. It is a popped up, and it is caught by the catcher. What a play that was. He fires down to second base, and they're going to get themselves a double play. Oh, my goodness. What a great play by Kinoshita. So the ball was popped up. He turns around 180 degrees, dives, and kind of makes the catch. Then he turns and throws an absolute bullet to second base. What awareness by the catcher. And on top of it, they nailed the runner. I don't know where the runner was going. That's a poor piece of base running by Ishikawa, or check that by Ishikawa, by Okamoto. And Okamoto right there, not seeing the ball down. And he gets hosed at second base. So that's going to be one of the more interesting double plays. It's going to go down 2-6 on the double play. Brinson gone for the first out. Okamoto retired for the second. That's going to bring up Nakayama to the plate. And the first pitch to Nakayama is a breaking ball that misses down for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So if you guys are on Instagram, be sure to check that out later. See if the Dragons will post that to their site. Certainly the Giants aren't going to want to post that to their site. That was not something they want to be posting on their Christmas videos, that's for sure. So here comes the 1-0 pitch as Ogasawara getting himself out of a jam here, courtesy of his catcher. Wow. A-Stars, by the way, are leading 3-1 over the Swallows in the other game that's going on. We were looking at the Bay-Star stuff tonight, wondering what a replica jersey of Trevor Bauer would cost. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. The count is 1-1. This is without shipping. So if you want a replica game type jersey, you're looking at about $450 approximately. Replica jerseys are about $120, and there's a fastball that misses upstairs. They appeal over to third, but they say that Nakayama did not go, and the count is 2-1 strike. So Morrow is the runner at first here with 2 gone in the top of the 4th inning. Ogasawara's pitch count is creeping up here. He's at number 75, about to be delivered here to the left-handed hitting Nakayama. And there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 3-1. Friend of the living room wanted our thoughts on Ogasawara earlier. Now that he's got about 4 innings deep, 4 times tonight he's gone to full count on hitters. As the 3-1 is on the way, it's a fastball popped up. Is behind second base. Moving over underneath it is the shortstop who calls everybody off. It's going to be hauled in by Muramatsu, and that is going to do it here in the 4th inning for the Giants. Well, the Giants got the first 2 hitters on leadoff walks. And then it was that double play that was turned by the catcher. Unbelievable by Kinoshita, as he was able to hose the runner at second base after catching that pop-up, and then they retire the side here. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. You're now moving to the bottom of the fourth inning. Your score is the Giants 1 and the Dragons no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call here in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys listening in here with us tonight. Here is our friend, Matt Hollis, once again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you there, Matt, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we support Matt Hollis. Be sure after the game to go check him out. That is Another Hollis Build. He's got all kinds of crazy things up his sleeve. Well, we are ready to resume the action here, as it is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat for the Dragons in their half of the fourth inning. That means Ito, Hosokawa, and Ishikawa coming to bat here. For Ito tonight, he is 0 for 1. He flew out to left field his first time up. He is 1 for 2 on the season, batting a cool .500. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Yokogawa working much more efficiently than his counterpart, as there is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And that is going to put Ito aboard with a single. He's now 2 for 3 on the season. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Seiya Hosokawa. As we said, Hosokawa, he had spent time with the Yokohama Danabe Stars. No spot for him. Couldn't get a regular spot in their lineup, but now he is hitting in the 3-hole here for the Dragons. I don't know what that says about the Dragons or what it says about the Bay Stars. Seasons in Yokohama, 123 games played with them. He had 6 homers, and he had only 19 RBIs. This year he's already got 12 runs batted in. As they throw over to first base, and diving in time as the base runner, Ito looks like he could be a threat to run, but with the lefty on the mound, we'll wait and see. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble. This ball is going to be just hooking foul, and Hosokawa is going to be coming back. Oh boy, he sent that one for a ride. We had to wait and hang in on this one. He just couldn't quite keep it fair. Just got around the ball a little bit. That ball was sky high, and he had just hooked it foul as it went into the second deck. Chunichi fans there might want to have that one back. So no balls and 1 strike it is to Hosokawa. The big fella is 1 for 1 tonight. He had a single his first time up, and he was left stranded. Only 1 hit tonight entering this inning, and he had the only hit. Ito has joined the club here with that single of his own, as they throw over to first base, and diving back in time as the base runner. So Hosokawa here ready to go again, is waiting on the offering from the lefty Yokogawa, who delivers a fastball that just misses upstairs, and the count is even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Left-hander Yokogawa ready to work again, and the pitch is on its way. It's a breaking ball swung on and tapped foul over on the third base side, and the count is now 1-2. That game is now all locked up at 3s at the Jinju. Bottom of the third inning. Lots of scoring going on there. Swallows 3, Bay Stars 3. If we were to call another game a late night tonight, I'm probably leaning toward the game between the Lions and the Buffaloes at the Kyocera Dome. As the pitch is a fastball swung on, this ball is lined into left field. It's going to be a base hit. And that is going to be a single for Hasakawa. That's going to put runners at first and second with nobody out. And that is going to bring up Takeya Ishikawa. Well, for Ishikawa tonight, he is 0 for 1. He's flown out to right field his first time up. Although I have to say, with Roki Sasaki on the mound, pitching against the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks at the Zozo Marine Stadium would be also on the docket. But I definitely am not going to entertain the 2 ball clubs that play in the Sapporo region. That, of course, is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Although it does look like the Golden Eagles may be straightening out the ship. They've played better in the last little bit. But it may be too early to tell on that one yet. So here comes the offering from the lefty Yokogawa, who holds at the set. And he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down for ball 1. The count is 1-0 to Ishikawa. So 1 ball and no strikes it is. Lefty delivers a breaking ball. That's waved at and missed. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I did notice that the break, it didn't seem as long the other night between the Bay Stars and the Carp. When we do the Pacific League games, they seem to take these long extended breaks between the 5th and the 6th inning. There was a breaking ball swung on and tap foul right at home plate. The count is now 1-2 to Ishikawa. Our friend BVP says he's going to try to stay up, but no promises. I take that's for the second game. The first game here, probably, I would think the way this one is rolling, we should be into the 7th inning by about midnight Pacific. Maybe even later. Of course, Alexander Leggett hanging in as long as he can. He'll be in midseason form now. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is now 2-2. Dan Visaedo waits his turn on deck. As the lefty gets ready to go back at it again. A battle of 2 lefties here tonight. And now the lefty Yokogawa kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the first base side. And the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. We've been saying we're going to be doing some Major League Baseball games coming up in the daytime, and that is true. The question is when we're going to start calling them. I was hoping to do them this week. I did see that the Mets swept the Tigers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to third. They go to second for 2. Back to first. Oh, we almost had ourselves a triple play. I think that one might be worth having a look at if you were the Dragons manager. Oh, man, that was a ground ball right to the third baseman, Okamoto. He stepped on the bag. They go to second for the second out, and then they turned it back to first, and we almost had a triple play. That was fantastic. Oh, boy. The hitter, Ishikawa, hit the grounder right to Okamoto. He fired it. The throw was low at second. A nice job by the second baseman, Haruka, to pick it out of the dirt, and then they went back to first, and not in time to get the runner, Ishikawa. So that's going to go down as a 5-4 putout or double play. So double play erased Ito for the first. The second one was Hasakawa at second. As they throw over to first and diving back is Ishikawa. Ishikawa reaches, of course, on the fielder's choice. Oh, man, that was a highlight. Friend Alexander Leggett says he'd probably get the stream up. Yeah, that would have been cool to see a triple play. Haven't seen one of those yet this year. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs to Visaedo, and the count is 1-0. BVP says, with the way Yokogawa and Ogasawara are pitching tonight, we might be 2.5 hours. As the lefty delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike to Visaito. You may be right on that one. The only problem is that Ogasawara is really struggling with his pitch counts. And I wonder how long he's going to be in this one. Whereas Yokogawa is still pretty economical. There's a fastball that just misses inside. The count is now 2-1. The last pitch there, the catcher Yamasi really wanted that one for the Giants, but he did not get the call. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. As we say that, that's exactly where we end up losing out on our feed, and then we gain it back on the B feed. So I won't be able to watch the chat for a little bit here, as that ball misses to Visaito, and the count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike, as Yokogawa ready to go back to work. As the lefty comes to the set and now delivers, it's a slow breaking ball swung on. It is grounded softly over to first. Is that going to stay fair, or was it a foul ball? It looks like that the offense is Visaito did not run too hard, as it looked like it was a foul ball, and that's exactly what it was. It's going to run the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Shotgun Shell says he had an unassisted triple play back in 1987. That would have been where the runners at first and second were probably, it was a hit and run. And they lined it to the shortstop, who stepped on the bag at second and tagged the runner going from first to second. That's how we'll call it for you, Shotgun. As that fastball is swung on, it is lifted into shallow center field. Moving over is Brinson. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it here, as the Dragons are gone in their half of the 4th inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left aboard. We'll be back in just a moment after we need to get ourselves a drink of water. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. We are moving to the top of the 5th inning. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Giants, and that means Yamase, Yokogawa, and Haruka. As they will be coming here in the top of the inning. Pretty decent pitching performance so far by Yokogawa. I'm curious to see if he comes back out for another inning of work or not, what his leash is. If he's on a certain pitch count, I would think he would. Had 19 innings in his 4 starts. So here comes the catcher Yamase, who struck out his first time up. And the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. 77 pitches through the first 4 innings for the lefty Ogasawara. Pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. Our friend Shotgun Shell sent over a commercial. I've downloaded it. I haven't converted it yet, but it'll be ready to go potentially. It has to pass the feed test. We'll do with YouTube, as there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. Sometimes on the live feeds, it might end up where we can play it, and then it'll tell us that they've got a copyright claim on it. I don't know if ESPN will get upset for that. I don't think they will. Usually on the breakdowns, they don't. On the lives, they do. So there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2. That's the second time tonight that the catcher for the Dragons has been squared up on a foul ball. Kinoshita has had a pretty good game behind the plate. Not one there. He took the brunt of it right into the mask. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the lefty now kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats. And the count is going to remain at 1-2. I meant to do that earlier today, but I just didn't quite do that. Our friend CV Baseball Card Collector says he's going to drift into the Z-Land too. I have a tendency to put people asleep once in a while. So here's the 1-2 pitch. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and tap foul, and it's going to keep the count at 1-2. It's like old school radio back in the day, listening to Ernie Harwell, Paul Carey, Tom Cheek, Jerry Howarth, even occasionally getting the St. Louis announcers. Every once in a while, stuff out of Cincinnati. With that old transistor radio stuck under the pillow. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into right field for a base hit. And that's going to be a leadoff single here for Yamasi. As he is going to be aboard with his base hit here. And it's going to bring up to the plate Yokogawa. Or scheduled to bring Yokogawa. Let's see if it is indeed the pitcher coming to hit. Good piece of hitting there by the catcher as he stayed inside the ball and went the other way. And he is the runner at first base with Yokogawa coming to the plate. And it is the pitcher here. He's already squaring to bunt. Our pitcher BVP, or our friend BVP, says he likes pitchers who rake. There's a bunt that is tap foul behind home plate. The count is quickly 0-1 to Yokogawa. So no balls and one strike. So the pitcher here having to get the job done, trying to put the runner into scoring position. It's going to come more and more important as the game moves on. This is a 1-0 ball game. A very little offense since the home run to start the ball game by Haruka. As the lefty here ready to go. And Ogasawara delivers, and it is bunted, and it is bunted foul down the first baseline this time. It actually hit the batter runner as he was about to leave the batter's box. The count is 0-2. BVP says a 3-run jack. We're assuming that's a base star bomb. Friend Gracie Lynn pops in. She says she can't stay long, but wanted to drop in and say hello. We welcome you for coming in here tonight. We are on the Central League here tonight, as we are doing this one here between the Dragons and the Giants. If I'm not mistaken, Gracie Lynn is in Alabama. And there's a breaking ball that is delivered. It is bunted foul, and that's going to be strike 3. It's going to go down as a strikeout in the books. As Yokogawa tried to bunt that one into play. He is gone for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Taishi Haruka. Well, Haruka is 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a homer in his 2 trips. He bats from the right side against the left-handed throwing Ogasawara. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Left-hander Ogasawara watching his pitch count ratchet up slowly. Pitch number 89 about to be on the way, and instead he throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Yamasi. Gracie says, yeah, Alabama it is. And welcome the Southern folk with us. And there's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say he didn't go, and it's going to even the count to 1-1. Lots of good people in the southern states. Some way we wish we were there with you. And here comes the 1-1 as the lefty holds set and delivers. It's a breaking ball delivered, and it is pop foul down the right field line, and that's going to run the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Haruka. As we say, whether you do listen live or whether you check back in on delay, we really appreciate those folks who do jump in and support the channel. And whether you listen on YouTube or on Twitch, you can catch us either way there. We have some Twitch listeners tonight, I do believe. We welcome those ones to the stream. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Haruka. Looks like we may have temporarily lost our little feed here. If that is the case, we'll have to play some catch up to get it back. And here comes the offering as we get it here from Ogasawara, and that pitch is swung on, and this ball is going to be lined into right center field for a base hit. And that is going to it's going to bring Yamase over to third, and that's going to put runners on the corners. So they've got runners on the corners. With a runner at first and a runner at third and 1 gone, that's going to bring up the first baseman, Yudo Akihiro. So we're going to have to use our B feed here a little bit, and that means we're going to leave the chat. As we do not have the access to our A feed, we'll jump back to the chat as soon as our A feed pops back up. Always fun to have 2 different streams going at one time. Our friend Jovan says he's watching from Reno, Nevada. Another great place. Driven through Reno a couple of times. BVP says, didn't know we had Twitch too. Yeah, we do Twitch. We don't put any investment into Twitch. We just have some fun with it. Let it ride. But any followers who want to join us on Twitch as well, it always helps from time to time. But YouTube's our main gig. So here comes the first offering. It's a breaking ball. It drops in for a called strike to Akihiro, and the count is quickly 0-1. 1 gone here with runners on the corners in the 5th inning. Our friend Jovan says, just excited to have something in common with some amazing people. Well, we appreciate you, Jovan, for being here. Always a great time for baseball, especially Japanese baseball. Here's the 0-1. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-1 on Akihiro. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Shotgun Shell says, let it ride. When in doubt, pick black. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Our friend BVP says he gave us a Twitch follow. We appreciate you for doing that. As we said, we haven't really put much investment into it. They say once you get to 50 followers on Twitch and you got to meet some other requirements, then you can start getting, I guess, monetized over there. But we really haven't put the effort into it other than just put the streams up and let it go. And if people come and listen, that's all the more the merrier. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Akihiro. Our stream schedule is up for the rest of the week. We are going to be back on the airwaves tomorrow and on a little later as well on the Sunday game in Japan, which is Saturday night in North America. Games are 10 o'clock Pacific time for the starts. It'll be the Lions and the Buffaloes tomorrow and the Hawks and the Marines the day after. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and Akihiro sure didn't like the call. That runs the count to 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. The Giants and the Dragons obviously tonight. And as we said, if we can maybe stick around and keep our eyes open for another one, maybe we would bring you either the Hawks or Marines or Lions and Buffaloes game at 2 a.m. Pacific time. So here comes the 2-2 as the lefty works to the set position. And now he kicks in, delivers, does Ogasawara. That ball is lifted over the head of the second baseman. It's going to get the second run in here for the Giants. And rounding second, but holding at second, is the base runner, Haruka. So a single here by Akihiro. That's going to drive in a run. It's going to be a 2-0 lead now for the Giants as Yamase has crossed the plate. And that is going to bring up the left fielder, Adam Walker. So 3 hits here in the inning so far. Have the Giants now extending their lead to 2-0. Nice job there by Akihiro. Get himself a base hit and an RBI. Our friend Gracie Lynn says there's never a bad time for baseball, and there couldn't have been any truer words said. That is absolutely correct. It's always a good time for baseball. So 2-0, the Giants have the lead. Adam Walker steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and grounded to third in his 2 trips to the plate. He is sporting some little extra long dreadlocks as the pitch is on the way in. It's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. That's another thing I was thinking about recently are Black American players playing in Major League Baseball. Not the blacks from the Dominican or Venezuela, but how many are being produced in Major League Baseball? Well, of course, Adam Walker is playing now in Japan as there's a breaking ball that misses down in it, and the count is 2-0. Just thinking about some of the players that maybe we are not seeing in the game today that have chosen to play other sports, whether it be basketball or football or maybe even soccer. I think of Marvell Wynn, who used to play in the New York Mets organization years ago. His son actually played in the MLS. He was with the Colorado Rapids for a while. Here comes the 2-0 pitch as they spin and throw down to second base, and the throw's not going to be in time. A daylight play as they tried to pick Haruka off of second. So runner at first is Akihiro, and the runner at second is Haruka. But you think of some of the players, and obviously Adam Jones at the end of his career came over to Japan. You think of Andrew McCutcheon, who's in the twilight of his career. You've got Mookie Betts. As there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit, rounding third and heading home. And this ball is going to be cut off by the shortstop. And that's going to hold Akihiro at second base. An RBI single for Walker as Akihiro stops at second, and coming around to score the third run of the ball game. Second of the inning is Haruka. And it is now a 3-0 lead here for the Giants. My friend Gracie Lynn says, I don't know if I'll be able to make the Lions game tonight, preparing for an all-nighter tomorrow night. Lions versus Buffaloes at midnight, and then our Red Diamonds in the Champions League at 4 a.m. Yeah, there you go. Bring your coffee, Gracie Lynn. Our friend Jovan says, I'm nervous if the Giants win. I hit this all-Japanese baseball parlay. And Jovan, we hope you do. But you know what, everybody? That's going to be the end of the night for Ogasawara. The pitching change is about to come. We're going to take a little moment here to take a break. We'll be right back in a bit, and we'll get you the change here in just a moment as Ogasawara's night is over. As there's one gone here in the fifth inning, and runners at first and second with the third baseman, Kazuma Okamoto, coming to bat. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We'll get you that pitching change. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be a right-hander, Kento Fujishima, coming into the ball game. The right-hander is making only his second appearance of the season. He has worked a third of an inning. He is not allowed to hit a run, a walk, a strikeout, or anything. He's got an ERA of 0. He is in his 6th season with the Dragons. Last year, he appeared in 50 ball games. He was very effective out of the pen. He was 2-1 last year. He worked 50 2/3 innings. He had allowed 39 hits, 11 walks, and struck out 43, pitching to an ERA of 2.13. So interesting to see how he's going to do. He was the 5th pick in the 2016 draft. And so he is on in relief here. This is Kento Fujishima taking over now for Ogasawara. And as we said, as we're going to call the games this weekend, hopefully you guys can join us for those. We are going to run some games next week, as it is going to be another couple of midweek games that will start at 10 o'clock featuring the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles in the Pacific League. So that's 10 o'clock Pacific time or 1 a.m. Eastern. So hopefully you can join us for that. So Kento Fujishima here on in relief, and he is going to be facing Kazuma Okamoto, who is officially 1-for-1 in a walk tonight. So as he checks the runner at second, he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Okamoto. So Okamoto here batting from the right side with runners at first and second and 1 in the books. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, Gracie Lynn talking about the Uara Red Diamonds. I believe that's the, if I'm not mistaken, that's the Japan Soccer League. As the pitch is on its way, it's a fastball swung on. It is pop foul behind home plate. And that is going to reach the seats, and the count is now going to be 1-2 to Okamoto. Fred BVP says, unfortunately, MLB still has a hard time selling the game to black folk in the United States. Yeah, it's hard to connect some ways. They've really done it to themselves. I had a fella who used to work with me, and he's from the Seattle area, and I said to him, I said, in some ways, and I didn't mean this at all in a mocking way, that, were the Black Americans better off playing in the 50s or even when they had their own league? You think about it now, they're so far and few between playing ball. You would hope that there's going to be some players that will break through in the next couple of years that could be good role models and maybe get some of those kids coming back to playing baseball. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Counts now 2-2 to Okamoto. Guys I think of that could break in would be Jordan Walker being one, who unfortunately was sent down recently by the Cardinals. Another one is that Tramar Johnson, who was a top pick by the Pittsburgh Pirates last season. I think he was, 6th or 7th overall, or top 5, 6, or whatever it was in the draft. There is a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count remains at 2-2. You think of Hunter Green, the pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, some really solid players, some good role models, or potentially good role models for young players who may want to consider playing baseball as an option. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And the fastball is swung on and is lifted foul, and that's going to reach the seats. And BVP says he's a big Josh Bell fan. Unfortunately, he's no longer with the Pirates. He's been bounced around a little bit as he was with the Nationals and the Padres, but he is now calling the Cleveland Guardians his home. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Okamoto. But again, what that would do for the game, and I also think it would upgrade the level of the athleticism in the game of certainly some of the athletes that are choosing to do other sports. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to third. They go to second for 1. Back to first. It's going to be an inning-ending double play. That is going to go in the books as a 5-4-3 double play. And that will retire Adam Walker at second for the second out. And that is going to do it here. Well, they got 2 runs in the inning, did the Giants, on the benefit of 4 hits There was no errors and only one runner left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score is the Giants 3 and the Dragons no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for being here after this. Hang tight. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be moving ourselves into the bottom of the 5th inning, and it'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to come to bat. That means Yuki Fukunaga, the catcher Takuya Kinoshita, and Kaito Muramatsu, and that is going to be 6, 7, and 8 in the batting order. I have to tell you a funny story. When I was playing ball as a young fella, and I think it was kind of funny. One of my good buddies at school, we were in grade 9, and I almost packed it in playing baseball at that time. I was making the decisions of what I'm going to do. I had played in grade 9. I played senior volleyball, and I didn't really like that. And I was going to make the move to play football my next year, which is what I ended up doing and carrying on with. I also played basketball, and I was looking at the possibility of maybe playing, possibly maybe playing baseball or just hanging it up. And I'll tell you the story as we move along here. And the first pitch is delivered to Fukunaga, and it's a fastball that's missing low, or breaking ball missing low, and the count is 1-0. And I had my good buddy, he says to me, he goes, "Why don't you come on and play with play for me and play for my uncle. My dad are coaching." There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 1-1. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Walker fields it. He's going to fire that back into the infield. That's going to be a single here for Fukunaga. So he is aboard with a single, and that is now going to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kinoshita. Anyways, where I was headed with the story is my buddy was black, and of course, so was his uncle and his dad. And I was playing on a team in Windsor, and we had probably, we had 15, 16 guys on the team, and there were only 3 or 4 white guys. And it was the most fun we had all year long, or in any time I had playing baseball up to that point. There was a mix of fun and discipline. Both of it was going on, and we had some really good athletes, and I had some buddies that we became lifelong friends. We're still friends to this day. We played other sports. We played football and basketball as teammates. And there's a breaking ball that's delivered for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. But there weren't enough of that. The dads, being my buddy's dad and his uncle, were into the coaching. And there weren't enough kids that were playing. The kids were wanting to play football, wanting to play basketball, gravitating away from the sport of baseball. Even at that time, there's a breaking ball that misses, and the count is now 1-1. And so sometimes that is what you think about that as well. Getting that opportunity to play and being able to connect with some of the kids. And you also think culturally, even when I coached over in Europe, as the pitch is on the way, a breaking ball that misses down, what one player who can get to the big leagues can do for your development, for a community, for an area, for a country, gets more kids wanting to play. If you've got somebody who comes from your area that can potentially get to the big league level. And the big league level, it's certainly at baseball, but also in other sports too. Our friend CV Baseball Card Collector said he ate barbecue in Windsor and headed back under the river to Detroit. There's the pitch. It's a 2-1 pitch, and there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-1 on Kinoshita. It's true. Our friend Mick says in his family, They're multiracial, so we just say that chocolate, but need more in hockey. The New York Ranger got a bad player, yeah, Keandre Miller. Absolutely. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. That's that ball 3, or is that ball 4? It looks like they lost count. They're pointing, the Dragons are pointing to first base. That is ball 4. Kinoshida's going to get himself a walk. He wasn't leaving the batter's box. That's going to put Fukunaga over to second. That puts runners at first and second. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Muramatsu. And you think about some of that stuff, it's just having different people, different cultures in the game. You go to some of the ball games in different areas. I went to the Dodgers, see the Dodgers play. And where I sat, there was a huge Latin section, obviously a big Mexican population in that area, Southern California, and coming to support the Dodgers. It's great to see different cultures that embrace the sport of baseball. And again, the Dodgers being one of the teams on the leading front, recognizing that and trying to get some of the players with Mexican heritage into their lineup. Fernando Valenzuela, of course, currently Julio Urias, other players that will get the fan base excited. There's a fastball delivered. It's bunted down the third baseline. It is fielded by the third baseman, Okamoto. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Muramatsu. It's going to be a sacrifice. That's going to go down 5-4 on the putout. It's going to advance the runners Fukunaga and Kinoshita over to third and second, respectively. And that is going to bring up the pitcher spot in the batting order, and we'll see who the Dragons are going to send up to hit here. I'm just going to give you a thought here in just a moment, as we're talking about the sport and where to invest and where to try to look at players. Boy, that was a bang play over at first base. I wonder if the Dragons, they've already used one. Would they use another? Or is that going to load the bases? It is going to load the bases. They did actually call him safe. I didn't think they call him safe. We got the bases loaded here, everybody. That sacrifice was not a sacrifice in as much as it is a base hit now. My apologies to everybody. I thought that they ruled him out. Well, that's going to load the bases here. And that is going to bring up a pinch hitter. And who is the pinch hitter that going to be? Well, we'll have to get you that in a second here. We haven't seen Aristides Aquino yet, and I can guarantee you it is not Aquino coming to pinch hit. And the first pitch is on the way. It is a fastball swung on. This is belted down the left field line. It's going to be hooked foul. And the count is quickly 0-1. It is Kato who they have given the bat to. Trying to get some information on him. This is Shohei Kato. So Shohei Kato here to pinch hit in the pitcher's spot. Kato on the season, and he's a veteran player. He is batting in the early season .231. He's got no homers and no RBIs. It's 1 ball and 1 strike here to the pinch hitter. Of course, this will be the time of the game where our feed is going to go crazy on us. So we're going to have to pick up that and see what we have here. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Kato. I'm just going to be away from our chat for a little bit here, as I got to keep my eyes on the action. Bases loaded, nobody out. And here comes the 2-1 offering. It's on the way. It is a fastball that just misses. And the count now goes to 3-1. So we're going to get ourselves a fat pitch here for Kato to possibly hit. The manager, Maru, is looking on in disgust from the Giants dugout. And here comes the pitch as the lefty holds set. There is a breaking ball swung on it. It's grounded softly into the 6th hole. It's going to get through in for a base hit. That's going to score a pair of runs. The throw from Adam Walker is cut off. That's going to put runners at first and second. And the Dragons have cut the lead to 3-2 as Fukunaga has come in to score, as did Kinoshita. Stopping at second is Muramatsu. And the pinch hitter, Kato, does his job with 2 RBIs on the single. So how about that? 2 runs on the board here. A 3-2 scoreline. Nobody out. And it's going to be the top of the order, Okabayashi. Mick asks, how many outs? We got nobody here. All this action is going with nobody out. So runner at second is Muramatsu. The runner at first is Kato. And Okabayashi steps to the plate, and he's already squaring to bunt. Now they've done the inside move as Yokogawa feigns the runner back to second. We're talking about different cultures and getting people to play. One of the things that baseball owners, in my opinion, and this is, again, my opinion, should do is, like soccer has done, soccer has gone into so many third world countries with their money and have invested putting stadiums in, providing, all you need is shorts and a ball and whatever it might be and some shoes and you can play. There's a breaking ball that is delivered. It is bunted down the third base line. It is fielded by the pitcher who throws on the run, and it looks like they're going to nail the runner at third. The manager is coming out as he wants to get a look at the VAR to see if the runner has reached there safely. We're going to have to wait here because we're going to see if Muramatsu is safer out. We're going to look at the replay ourselves. The pitcher comes off the mound. He stumbles and then throws, and it looks like he's going to hold the bag. That's going to be a put out. The Dragons will lose their challenge on this, and they'll be out of challenges. Keep that as a mental note. That's going to go down as a fielder's choice. And that's going to be 1-5 on the putout. So fielder's choice 1-5. Out number 1 here in the inning. And that is going to put Okabayashi as the runner at first. It'll advance the runner Kato over to second. And Ito is going to be the batter coming to bat. I don't think we're going to have to wait very long. And in fact, here come the umpires, as they're going to provide that decision pretty darn quickly. As we wait on the judgment here. And what are they going to tell us now? They're going to tell us that, as we wait again, they should be telling us that the Dragons have lost that other challenge and that runner is out. As we wait here on the decision. And we're looping it here because we've lost the feed. That's why. Let's see what's going to happen here. I don't know if I need the umpire to tell us, but as far as I'm concerned, that play is over. Well, as we lose our feed and try to regain it, that's exactly what has happened there. That is going to do it. It's going to be 4 1/3 innings for the starting pitcher as they're going to be making a pitching change. It's going to be runners at first and second. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. We started to give you our thoughts on some other things, and we're going to have to take a little bit of a timeout here. Hang tight, guys. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a right-hander. It's going to be Yohei Kagia coming into the ball game for the Giants. The former Hokkaido Nippon ham fighter is in his 5th season with Yomiuri, as he's going to be making his 11th appearance. He is 1-0, and he's got a save on the year. 9 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 9 hits, 5 walks. He's struck out 11, and he has Surrendered 4 runs, all earned, and he's got a 386 earned run average. So this is going to be Yohei Gia on the mound. So both of the starting pitchers are done. Could not get through into the 5th inning. And so we're ready to resume the action as he's completed the warm-up tosses here. As I said before, we are struggling just a little bit with the feeds. We're ready to resume the action. As the right-hander leans in and he gets the sign from his catcher. And he works to the set position. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that comes inside and almost hits the batter. And that's going to knock down Ito for ball 1. So to set the stage for you here, we've got the pinch hitter. Kato is the runner at second base. The runner at first is Okabayashi. It is Kazuki Ito, the 2-hole hitter at the plate here with a 1-0 count. So 1 ball and no strikes. As the right-hander works to the set position, he checks the runner and now delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes even to 1-1. And it is as choppy a stream as you're going to be able to deal with right now. So hopefully we can navigate this one here through for everybody tonight. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Usually my reliable Pacific League streams work out well for us. The Central League, I guess beggars can't be choosers, so to speak. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. We'll see if they are going to be able to fix this for us and give us something good. As we do have 1 ball and 1 strike to the hitter, Ito. So you'll just have to pause with us here for a moment as we try to get this fixed and surrendered for everybody here to enjoy. And if not, then we'll have to maybe grin and bear it with us and have to play a little bit of dominoes or something else that'll keep us all entertained. Again, as we have this little pause in the action, not much we can do at this point. We can only tell you that when we left here, it's got runners at first and second, 1 ball and 1 strike to Ito. This is where we would need rain delay stories and all the rest of that other stuff. It's not, that's one of it there, Alexander. Absolutely. It's not just that as well as the live QQ. We say we'll just have to grin and bear it, so to speak. It's been that way a little bit on some of the other feeds. The hosted website, the English site that we use for the box scores, hasn't worked at all this year. It's doing the major league stuff. It's not doing anything at all for anything else. So it looks like that Ito is grounded into a double play, and that is going to end the inning here. So Ito grounds into the old 5-4-3 double play, and that is going to end it here for the Dragons for their half of the inning. Well, they got some runs in the inning. They had 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits, and there was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your score through 5 is the Yomiuri Giants 3 and the Chunichi Dragons 2. We're going to take a little extended break here, as it is what we like to call our Japanese halftime, as the end of the 5th inning is going to be an extended break. 3-2 as we're moving to the 6th. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. We'll put this on loop, and you guys can sit back and enjoy with us what we do as well. Hang tight. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Keisuke Kanemoto coming in relief, the right-hander here, former Hokkaido Daban ham fighter in his 7th season. The Chunichi Dragons, he has worked in a 1 ball game this year, 2/3 of an innings, 2 hits. He has walked 1, struck out none, and has given up 2 runs. Only 1 of them has been earned. His ERA is sitting at 13.50. So who is he going to face? Well, he's going to get Yoshihiro Muro, Lewis Brinson, and Raito Nakayama, as the right-hander is ready to deliver, and it is a fastball that just misses inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0 to Maru. So 1 ball and no strikes. Third pitcher used here tonight by the Dragons. He is not a big fella, as he is listed at 167 centimeters tall. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is 1-1. There are some players that can pitch. There are some players that can play in the NPB. This player probably would have never been on the radar for Major League Baseball just because he is considered a very small righty. As here comes the pitch from Kanemoto. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. And the count now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. I was starting to say earlier about soccer and how they do a good job of investing in the third world countries. They take the money and they build the players, and they were able to build the facilities for them. There's a fastball that misses, and the count is 3-1. And, when baseball has done it in Venezuela or to a certain degree in the Dominican, in some of the winter leagues, there are some, other third world countries globally where baseball could have gone in over the years, built a facility, got the kids, taught them how to play. But really, I have to say, it's probably the short-sightedness of the ownership, as that fastball was swung on and fouled away, and the count is now full to Maru. And not necessarily investing in the growth of the future. It's kind of like a quick buck Charlie. Let's come in, make our buck now, and get out, but not thinking about the future, whereas soccer has planted seeds all around the world. The other sport that has done that in the last 30-some-odd years has been basketball. You think about how basketball is not just big in Europe and in North America, but South America and also in Africa now, as that fastball misses outside. That's going to be ball far to Maru, and that is going to be a leadoff walk here issued to the Giants, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Lewis Brinson. As I'm a little bit slow on getting back into the chat. Sorry, Gracie. Appreciate you earlier there. If you had jumped back in, we thank you for popping in here. So if Gracie had to leave and I may have missed her, well, we appreciate having you in here. And here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball delivered to Lewis Brinson that comes in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Alexander Leggett said exactly that. Major League Baseball, they're more concerned about getting more money from the 30-something single man market rather than outside, which again is in some ways, when you think about the United States as a breaking ball is swung on and tapped foul, that's not really how America normally thinks. America usually thinks that the world is their oyster and they'll take all the global money that they can, but baseball doesn't think that way. Where you're right, baseball is more thinking internally than externally in terms of its growth and marketplace. But that may change. Who knows? We're seeing different changes in the game today, and maybe in our lifetime that will start to make a trend in a different direction. There's a fastball that misses outside to Brinson, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. But you also see it in Japan, too. When you think about it, there is an interest in Japanese baseball outside of Japan. But how tough it is. Like when you're in Japan and you try to find places that sell merchandise and sell merch. Now, granted, I was there in the wintertime, the off-season. So I'm curious to see what it's going to be like more in season when I'm there this year in August. As there's a breaking ball that misses down. They peel down to the first base umpire, but they say it didn't go, and the count's 2-2. Was doing the math today, 107 days away until we fly from Seattle to San Fran and then on to Tokyo. Looking forward to that excursion. First time I'm doing it that way. I've flown direct from Vancouver in the past. But this one here is a bit of a hop, skip, and a jump. There's a fastball that is swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow right field, moving over and making the grab is the right fielder Hasakawa, and that is going to retire Brinson for the first out of the inning. So one away, and it's going to retreat Maru back to first base. Friend Alexander says, congrats on the upcoming trip. Yeah, it's used some points to that one, so the flight's not going to cost me anything. I haven't set my hotel arrangements yet. I'm going to try to do that probably in the next week or so. First 8 days will be in the Tokyo area, and then the next 10 days I'm undecided whether I'll be in Osaka or outside of Osaka. I've yet to make that determination yet. And here's the offering. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Nakayama. Nakayama has a double in 2 trips here tonight. He bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Tanemoto, who is on in relief here for the Dragons. Dragons are giving it a fight. It's a 3-2 ball game. There's a fastball swung on it as pop foul, and that is going to reach the seats. On the move was Maru. That runs the count now to 1 ball and 1 strike. Talking about how the feed has been iffy tonight. We're back to the iffiness again here. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander Tanemoto ready to go back to work again. I haven't kept up with the chat because I've been having to mess around with the feeds. So 1-1 it is as Tanemoto throws over to first, and diving back in time is the base runner. Keeps the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Caleb says he'd like to go to a different country so badly, he just doesn't have the money for it. Well, eventually you'll get there. Everybody will get to their destinations over time. Was able to make the points work this time around, which was good. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and now the count goes to 1-2. Sometimes you can make the points work. We have a grocery store chain up here called Save On Foods. The first 2 times I used my grocery points to fly. When you do your shopping, and then they have bonus points, and they got whatever else, and I can ratchet up pretty quickly. Probably in a year's time, we'll have another round for another flight somewhere. As that fastball misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. So wherever you can do where you're possibly being able to maximize some of those points from whether it be the groceries or the gasoline or whatever it might be, always try to do that to work to your advantage. Can add up sometimes. Here comes the offering now to Nakayama, the 2-2 ready to go. Instead, they throw over to first base, and diving back is the base runner Maru. When you think about it, this game was moving along at quite the clip. And now here we are 2 hours and 10 minutes in, and we're in the top of the 6th inning. Thought the way that first 3+ innings were going, almost 4 innings in the books in about just over an hour's time. And then it's been an hour to do the last inning and change. So there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Moving over underneath it is the left fielder Ito. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire Nakayama for the second out of the inning. One player I was interested in maybe watching tonight would have been Aristides Aquino for the Dragons. Aquino, of course, was with the Cincinnati Reds, the Punisher, as he was known as. I would have liked to have seen him in the action here. Looking to see if he's even on the bench. Doesn't look like it is. It looks like that Almonte is on the bench. No sign of Aristides Aquino. Well, that's going to bring up the catcher Yamase to the plate. He is officially 1 for 2. He singled and scored a run his last time up. The pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball swung on it. It's grounded over to third. Fielded neatly by the third baseman, Ishikawa, who throws to second. That's going to retire Maru on a fielder's choice, 5-4 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Giants in their half of the sixth. Well, there was no runs in the inning. There were no hits. There was no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the sixth inning. Your score is the Yomiuri Giants 3, the Chunichi Dragons 2. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. Hang tight. We'll be right back in just a moment after this. Or maybe after that.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. This is what I love about Japanese baseball. We've got one of our favorite numbers entering the ball game here. This is going to be number 053. I love it. And that who is coming into the ball game for the Giants. I'm not sure if this is Takanashi or not. Well, I'll take a look here to see if that is exactly who it is. If it is either Yuhei Takanashi or number 69, Mikami. I think it's 69. I think it is Tomoya Mikami coming into the ball game. That is what they are flashing here. But he is wearing a training number on the back, 053. So I'm going to stay with it and say that it is Mikami, the former Yokohama Bay star, who is making his first appearance of the season for the Giants. But 053 is what he's wearing, and those are generally the triple digits are referred to as development players or training players, maybe even as a free agent. So he spent I've got him here with the first 9 years of his career with the Bay Stars. That is where he stands here. But they flash up on the screen the number that he would be wearing, which would be the always popular number 69. Here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down for ball one. The count is 1-0 to Hasekawa. It'll be Hasekawa, Ishikawa, and Visayedo here in the sixth inning. As the pitch again is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. So making his first appearance of the 2023 campaign, lifetime 3.15 ERA. So that fastball misses outside. And it's now 3-0 to Hasekawa. He worked in 19 ball games last year for Yokohama. So the right-hander ready to go back to work again as he works into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 3-1. 053. I think it was a couple of years ago. Maybe it was Richard Sunagawa who came in wearing number 111 or something like that for the Fukuoka Ball Club. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the right-hander is trying to work himself all the way back. So here comes the pitch from Mikami, and it is a fastball swung on. It is popped over on the first base side. Racing over is the first baseman Akihiro, but he's going to watch that sail into the seats. He's going to keep the count at 3-2 to Hasekawa. So we got this as the third pitcher now being used by the Yomiuri Giants. Mikami ready to go back to work again. The 3-2 is on its way as he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. That's going to be ball 4. And that is going to be a leadoff walk here to Hosokawa. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Ishikawa. So trying to figure this out here. As I said, they flashed up that he does wear 69, yet he is wearing a 053. Maybe his 69 is in the wash. I'm not sure. We'll try to get that sorted out as we move along here. It is McCamey who is pitching. Of course, when you check the NPB website, that's who they have indicated is in the ball game. 3-7-0 for the Giants. 2-6-0 is the line score for the Dragons. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that missed down, and the count is 1-0 to Ishikawa. Ishikawa tonight has bounced into a fielder's choice, and he has flown out to right field, so officially 0 for 2. I wonder if we can get that number there. Our friend Babestein in the house tonight. We appreciate you for being here. So here comes the offering to Ishikawa. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Friend Babstein asks, will anybody know where we can watch the game? Well, not sure where you're at, but if you're in Kazakhstan, you might be able to get the DAZN channel out of Japan. And just mention our friend Borat. He'll be able to give you a discount on that as well, as it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ishikawa. As the right-hander delivers, and there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Ishikawa goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning, 1 away, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Dan Visiedo. Well, seeing that Babestein is in the USA, that makes it even more complicated because that's not where we're at. We're listening to the Super Channel here in, of all places, Kazakhstan. Actually, not totally true, but we're definitely not in the States. But in the States, it has been where if you have a VPN, you might be able to get the zone out of Japan. You have to have a VPN to be able to do that. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that is taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Visiedo 0 for 2 tonight. Flown to center and flown to right in his 2 trips to the plate. As here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And the count is now 0-2. Other up, I think there was something that was called Friends to Friends or FTF. I think that's down in the States, but you have to watch the games on delay. I don't know if they're showing them live or not. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dan Visiedo. Alexander says you could try the VPN, but yeah, FTF is something else. I'm not exactly sure. That was something that I heard down in the States. Was carrying Central League games, but I've heard that the games originally were on delay. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded over to short. They flip it to second for 1, back to first. It's going to be an inning-ending double play. That's going to be in the books as a 6-4-3 variety, and that will do it here for the Dragons in their half of the 6th. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now through 6 complete. Your score is the Giants 3, the Dragons 2. Pitching change on the way. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for bouncing in here with us tonight. And we appreciate you for listening in. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is a pitching change here for the Dragons as they are going to the bullpen. It is going to be a right-hander, and it is going to be a number 41 entering the ball game. And that number 41 is going to be Akiyoshi Katsuno. So Akiyoshi Katsuno coming into the ball game. I always remember when I refereed football, and I used to wear the number 57. That was the number I had for a number of years. And then when I came out to the coast, I had to change numbers a little bit because somebody else had 57. It was an old number that I was issued that I used to wear. Anyways, what it ended up happening is I got a good kick out of it, is that they were handing out numbers, and there was number, 117 or something like that. And I'm like, I'll take it. And they're like, well, why do you want 117? And I said, well, because nobody's going to yell. You always used to hear, you suck 57 or whatever the number was that the guy would be wearing. But nobody would yell out, you suck number 117, because nobody would yell that out. It was too hard to say. So you can never make the wrong calls. Not only do we have a pitching change as Katsuno is in the ball game, it is also going to be a pinch hitter here for the Giants as the pitcher's spot in the batting order is set to be here. And we're going to see who they're setting up here, as it appears to be a number 13. And that is going to be Takayuki Kajitani. So he is pinch hitting here. And the first pitch is taken for a ball, and there is a fastball delivered. Grounded on one hop over to the first baseman. Visayedo fields it. He's going to step on the bag, and we've got one up and one away, and that's going to go as a ground out to 3 for the first out. We can't even get the names into the score sheets fast enough, and things are happening quickly. So that is going to retire Takayuki Kajitani for out number 1. And I'll bring the top of the order up in Taishi Haruka. Well, Haruka got things going with a home run to lead off the ball game back in the first inning. He has scored 2 of the 3 runs for the Giants in this one. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. And the pitch is on its way. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Caleb says, or his message is not popping up. Yeah, everybody's messages are popping up. I have to say, I've tried to keep up with the chat, but I've had to go to the B feed on some of our stuff here tonight. There's a fastball that swung on it, is lined softly over to the shortstop, and it's going to be caught right there on the run by Muramatsu, and that is going to retire Haruka for the second out of the inning. So 2 away here, and that is going to leave it all up to the first baseman, Akihiro. So 2 gone here as Akihiro steps to the plate. He's 1 for 3 in this one. He's got a single, an RBI, and he has struck out twice. Or do we? We looks like we may have a pinch hitter. This looks like it's Hayato Sakamoto in to hit. Have to do a double take on this one, and that first was. So no balls and 1 strike. Finally, he enters the ball game with 2 gone here in the 7th. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. One of the finer shortstops and one of the finer players over the last 15 years in the NPB. He's getting to be on the what I would call the downside of his career now. He's on the wrong side of 30. As the 1-1 pitch is delivered, and there is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left center field. Racing back, and this one is going to be off the wall. It is played by the center fielder, and he fires it in, and sliding into second base with a double is Sakamoto as he comes off the bench, and he's got himself a double here with 2 gone. That is going to bring up the left fielder, Adam Walker. Well, maybe Sakamoto's got more in the tank than we think he does. And we have a break in the action, as one of the young ladies has come out onto the field, one of the players, as it looks like it's a milestone hit for Sakamoto. He's got himself a double, And one of the things that they bring in Japan, they like to give flowers. So Sakamoto had a bundle of flowers that he had as he acknowledges the crowd on his achievement. And that is now going to bring up the left fielder, Adam Walker. I don't know how the guys in the feed here feel about getting a bouquet of flowers from other men. I would have my concerns about that. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's certainly not my thing of getting a bouquet of flowers. But that's what happens sometimes. You get a good chuckle out of some of that stuff culturally. Here comes the pitch here to Adam Walker. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. I remember when, I think it was when Scott Matheson retired, his old catcher had brought him in his retirement, brought him a bundle of flowers. My friend Alexander Leggett says, hey, Candelario can still hit. Yes, he can. He just can't hit in Detroit. That's the problem. Here comes the 1-0 offering to Adam Walker as the right-hander holds set. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Walker tonight has got a single in 3 trips. He's also driven in a run. He's struck out and grounded out. He's been productive. He's also made some nice plays in left field. As we wait here, because we've, again, lost that feed for just a moment. Always has the timing. It never seemed to lose it when we go to commercial. As there is a fastball delivered, and it's just going to miss, and that's going to be 3 balls and no strikes to Walker. Go to commercial, we could lose it all day long. We're here in the top of the 7th inning. The runner at second is Sakamoto. There's 2 away, and it's 3 balls and no strikes to the right-handed hitting left fielder, Adam Walker. They are in the bullpen, are the Dragons, or both teams for that matter. 4th pitcher used by the Dragons as Itsuno is ready to deliver again. Wonder if Walker is going to get the green light 3-0. As here comes the 3-0 offering. The pitcher holds set, and now there's a fastball that misses inside. They appeal to the first base umpire. They say Walker didn't go. That's going to be ball 4. He is going to be aboard, and that's going to bring up Kazuma Okamoto. Another dangerous hitter in the lineup here for the Yomiuri Giants. Caleb Atkins says that Candelario is pretty much doing the same thing as he did in Detroit. I often said, I wonder how Candelario looked in a New York Yankee uniform. Thinking that he was originally born in New York, I think the Bronx, if I'm not mistaken. He might actually be one of those guys who actually really does well there. So here comes the right-handed hitting Okamoto to the plate. As the right-hander Katsuno has got himself in a bit of a jam with 2 out here, and the pitch is on its way. It's a fastball swung on. It's chopped back to the pitcher. He throws to first. That's going to do it here as Okamoto has grounded out 1-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Giants. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. No errors and 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. Your score is the Giants 3 and the Dragons 2. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this little timeout. Appreciate you guys for being here and listening in tonight. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom half of the 7th inning. We're going to see where we fit in with the feed here again, as it looks like we are lost again in space, as it is going to be the Dragons who are coming to bat here in their half of the 7th inning. It is slated to be Fukunaga and then Kinoshita and Muramatsu to come on here. Of course, we're looking to see if there has been a pitching change. At the same time, we are also wondering if we are going to get ourselves the feedback. There is a pitching change, and we do have the feedback. Number 54 on in relief. I'll have to get you that here in a second and tell you who that is going to be. Number 54 is worn by Daisuke Naoi, as he is coming on in relief here. So he is going to be the 4th pitcher used by the Giants. Pretty entertaining ball game here tonight. I don't know if they'll say Daisuke or Daisuke, as that would be the proper maybe enunciation of it. So he is on to face Fukunaga, Kinoshita, and Muramatsu. That's the right-hander ready to go to work. He works from the stretch with nobody on, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Pretty good baseball game here again tonight. Not as much runs as the last time, or the game that we called last night. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1, but still been action nonetheless. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is, as the right-hander now kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Fukunaga. Right-hander Naoi ready to work again. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's been an enjoyable evening here tonight. Some good baseball and a lot of good people listening in. 2-2 on the way. It's a fastball delivered. It's swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're having some batting practice today with my young players. We've got some young kids I'm working with this year. And I got to really keep my patience. As we're swinging and missing at soft toss today with our 13 and 14-year-olds. We're getting soft toss and we're swinging and missing, and I'm losing my mind. Thinking, come on, guys, how can it be me standing 18 feet in front of you flipping? We're swinging and missing at soft toss. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is as I'm watching this game here. The reason I see that is because the hitter was way out in front of that breaking ball and missed. And there's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-2. So young kids, they want to learn how to hit, and it is not an easy thing to do. It's being able to make contact is one thing, and doing something with the bat is another thing. So here comes the 3-2 offering as the right-hander now kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that's swung on and it's lifted foul down the right field line. That keeps the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to the second baseman, Fukunaga. As the right-hander ready to deliver again as he kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Coming hard is Walker. He's going to dive, and it's not Walker anymore. It's making the catch. Is the pinch hitter from last inning, Kijitani, who is coming to the ball game. But left field has been busy. What a great catch by him. He had to sell out to get it. If he doesn't make that catch, that's going to go all the way to the wall, and the runner will be at least at second, if not third. Diving forward as he was coming forward toward the foul line. A nice play. Well done by the left fielder for out number 1. That's going to make the highlight reel for sure. That's going to bring up Kinoshita to the plate. On top of it, probably might have got a little rug burn on his chin. So Kinoshita steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 officially in this one. He's walked and scored a run. And the pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. But he himself has been part of a beautiful highlight reel. The catcher caught a popped-up bunt from behind home plate. He made that grab, and then he fired down to second to double off the runner. It was unbelievable. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving over underneath it is Brinson. He makes the catch. I assume that's Brinson and not Walker. They haven't moved him around. That is going to retire Kinoshita for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and that is going to bring up Muramatsu. And there is action in the Dragons bullpen as they have a left-hander up and throwing. Or maybe he's throwing up in the bullpen. We're not sure. So Muramatsu stepping to the plate. 1 for 2 in this one. He's got a single and 2 trips. And the first offering is a fastball that misses down for ball 1. And the count is 1-0. Mick says he needs the Giants -1.5. I think our friend who was in here earlier, Jovan, also needs the Giants. I don't know if he needs that 1.5 per se, as that fastball misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul on the left field line. And that's going to run the count now 2-1 on Muramatsu. It's the pitcher's spot and the order that would be up next, but we can anticipate a pinch hitter more than likely. Here's the 2-1. And there is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Muramatsu waits here on the offering from the right-hander, and it's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. That runs the count to 3-2. Yahweh looking to put the finishing touches on a 3-up, 3-down inning, but the count has gone full here to Muramatsu. As the right-hander holds set, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on his lifted foul down the third base line, and the count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. Right-hander holds set. Now he's ready to go. He kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving over underneath it and making the grab is Brinson, and that is going to do it. As that'll be it for the Dragons here in their half of the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of the 8th inning. Your score is the Giants 3 and the Dragons 2. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We'll be back here in just a moment. And we appreciate you guys for being here. Jovan says he just took the money line. Probably would be a good decision on that. Hang tight, guys. We'll be back in a minute after this from our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going here to the top of the 7th inning, and the Dragon mascot is out with their drum, and they are entertaining the crowd as we had to get up for our 7th inning stretch and make our way back with another glass of water. Tonight, it has been water is the drink of the night. We had one hot chocolate, got tired of that. The throat is getting better. We're starting to sound like a human again. Still battling some allergies, but not as much as we were a couple of days ago. We do have a pitching change for the Dragons. They have a left-hander coming into the ball game. This is going to be a number 34. This is Hiroto Fuku. So Hiroto Fuku on in relief. We'll get you his numbers here in just a moment. This is going to be pitcher number 5 used by the Dragons. This is definitely a bullpen game now. So Hiroto Fuku on in relief. Curious to see what the options will be for the Giants at the back end to try to close this one out. It is the top of the 8th inning, and of course, they have a 1-run lead. Are they going to be able to try to sustain this or not? I don't know. So Fuku on in relief. I think they have his name as Fortune as the literal translation. He is in his 7th year with the Dragons. He's got a 2-2. He has no record this year. Last year, he was 2-2. Worked 27 2/3 innings, and he had an ERA of 4.55. So ready to go here again as the lefty is on the mound and he gets his side from his catcher. And the first pitch is on the way to Maru, and it is a fastball that misses down and away. The count is 1-0. It's Maru, Brinson, and Nakayama here to face the lefty Fuku here in the 8th. Maru on the evening is officially 0 for 1. He's had walks as he has reached base a couple of times. As the lefty delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Fuku ready to go again here as he works to the set, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Maru. The lefty ready to go again as he kicks and he fires. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is popped up into shallow right center field. Coming in on it is the right fielder, and it's going to be hauled in by Hasakawa. And that'll do it here for Maru for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Lewis Brinson. Our friend Caleb said he didn't see the predictions tonight. Was afraid it was on. Haven't done the predictions the last couple of nights. I have to be honest, it's been a little bit challenging because just my time constraints to get it done. We got our absolute teeth knocked in on the last predictions we made. We were 0 for 6. Everything we picked actually went wrong. And then that was I think the last one of the month, as there's a fastball swung on and grounded over to second. They throw over to first, and that is going to retire Brinson on a ground out 4-3. But more importantly than that, it's been a bit of a challenge, especially when we get into the weekend. It is so difficult because we've got a lot of things on the go, all I would say, with the programs that we're running, and it is into the teeth of the season on the field. In some cases, somewhere 6, 8, 9 hours on Saturday and Sunday, don't get off the field and don't get a chance to get to the predictions at all. Usually traveling from one place to another. So that was why we weren't able to do it. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Nakayama. Nakayama tonight has had a double in 3 trips. He's also popped to short and flown to left. As the lefty holds set and he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. I wanted to do it every single day this year, and I think maybe that was where we bit off more than we could chew, especially when we get into this time. This actually won't be as bad as when we get into late June and early July. We get into early July, it's going to be a real challenge because we'll be on the field burning the candle at both ends, sometimes 2 hours at night and 5 hours in the day, and a travel in between. And that's just that's the first day of the week. We got the rest of the week to go too. So sounds like we're working a 8-hour job, and it is in some ways. Problem is that 8-hour job is divided up with a 3-hour break in between, thankfully. So here comes the pitch. The 0-2 on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2, especially when you run the summer day camp program. And then at nighttime, you got other stuff going on as well. So you wrap up the day camps at 3 in the afternoon, and then you got to be somewhere for 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. And it may be across town or in the other city altogether as a fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And then throw in a couple of journeys over to the island and one down to Seattle. And next thing you know, you're already back to Monday again. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to the left-handed hitting Nakayama. The pitch is on its way. It's a fastball swung on in his line down the left field line, foul. The count is going to remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But that's just the nature of the beast. That's what you sign up for, and we're not making any complaints about that. It's just the problem is the time management constraints that are the problem. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nakayama as we again find the feeds to be a bit of a challenge tonight. So it looks like we have lost it again here. As we said, it is in and out and around and about. There's not much we can do about it other than just have to grin and bear it and try to battle it out when we have a chance. We'll see if this is going to be an extended one or not, as it's a 2 ball and 2 strike count that we have here on Nakayama. It looks like Nakayama has reached base, but that is going to bring up Yamasi, the catcher, to the plate, but we don't have any extra additional information on that. So Yamasi stands in at the dish with the runner at first. We'll have to get you how the runner arrived at that location when we possibly can. And here comes the first offering to Yamasi. Again, we are in the freeze zone, as we say here. The pitch is on its way. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's right into the catcher. The count is quickly 0-1 to Yamasi. So his opposite number would know exactly how he feels. Our friend Mick says a single. Friend Alexander Leggett says he feels for us. Yeah, it's the way it goes. It's just that it's the times of the year. There's a lot of time of the year we can put our feet up and relax. I can tell you that much. I mean, it's not like we're killing ourselves. And there's other times of the year that you got to actually work. I say work, but that's what it is. We got to get stuff done. Our friend here, Jovan, says he's on fire tonight. He took the over on the Rakuten and under on the Carp. So I've got no balls and 1 strike with the runner Nakayama still at first base. We're trying to get this feed to behave for us here. As here comes the 0-1 pitch to Yamasi. They throw over to first and diving back in time as the base runner. So hopefully we can get through another couple innings here. I always figure if we could get an hour in between the games, then we would do the next one. And right now we're running into a problem. There's a fastball that's taken. Throw down to second is not in time. The runner goes through the base a little bit, but they were not able to hold on to the ball. It's going to be a stolen base here for Nakayama. I didn't get the result of the pitch, but it looks like it's come up as a ball. So stolen base by Nakayama. He is at second base here with 2 gone. And that is where we're at. I'm going to have to, unfortunately, go away from the chat for a little bit here because I'm going to have to pick up my B feed. The A feed is just not working for us. So we're going to try this one here for a bit. See if this is going to behave a bit better. So hopefully this will be able to work for us a little better than our last one. And it does look like it is a ball and 2 strikes now to Yamasi. As he had tried to check his swing and he couldn't. He had swung through the pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said, 2 gone here in the top of the 8th inning. The runner Nakayama is the runner at second base here with 2 gone. Fuku comes to the set position. He checks the runner over at second as he holds at the belt. And now he kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball swung on. And is lifted up over in foul territory. It's moving towards the stands. Racing over it for it is Visayedo. Is he going to have room? He does, and he makes the catch, and that is going to do it here as Yamasi is retired for the third out of the inning. Well, hopefully we get ourselves a better bottom half. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and one runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the eighth inning. It is the Dragons trailing the Giants 3-2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments, and hopefully we'll get our A feed sorted back out. We'll be right back after this. Three-two is the score, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the eighth inning. Hang tight. We'll be back around in just a couple moments. Appreciate everybody who stopped in here tonight. If you haven't yet subscribed, do so. You'll get some of the late notifications when we go on, even if we haven't announced the game. We do have our schedule up here for the next couple of nights, and then we'll be adding some stuff for the weekend. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We do have another pitching change coming here for the Yomiuri Giants. It is going to be a right-hander, and it is going to be Chiharu Tanaka, who is coming into the ball game. In his rookie season, he is making his 10th appearance. He is 0-1 on the year. He has worked 10 innings. He's allowed 9 hits. He has walked 4 and struck out 9, and he's got an ERA of 2.70. 22-year-old. Was the third overall pick in the 22 draft of Kokugakuin University. I don't know if I've said that right. That's how it certainly looks to me. So that is going to be Chiharu Tanaka on in relief here for the Giants. And he is going to be set to facing the 9, 1, and 2 spots in the batting order. And it is going to be a pinch hitter here coming up for the Dragons. And the pinch hitter who is entering the ball game here is going to be Yohei Oshima. So Oshima, the first pitch delivered to him is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Oshima is a left-handed batter, waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Tanaka, who kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. Oshima is listed on the farm team, at least our second squad. That's where we have him listed, so I didn't see him in the regular game sheet. There's a fastball swung on. It is lined softly into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. So Oshima is aboard with a single. The teammates are giving him the cheer, and now it looks like his night is already done. We're going to have a pinch runner for him. So he comes in, does the job with a base hit, and he exits the ball game as quickly as he enters it. So he is the runner at first. As we say, we're going to get ourselves the pinch runner. Haven't picked up the number on that player yet who's come in to run. We'll get that for you as soon as we can see it. As we have a great view of the dugout. We haven't got the number on the player, but that's going to bring the top of the order here to the plate. And they throw over to first base, and diving back in time as the base runner, it is number 51. 51 is Wataru Takamatsu. The top of the order here is Okabayashi, who is coming to bat. He is 0 for 3 in this one. He has popped to short. He's flown to center, and he's bounced into a fielder's choice. So 0 for 3 for Okabayashi. And again, they throw over to first base. And again, diving back safely is Takamatsu. So the crowd is cheering here. They're cheering their home team on. There's a fastball that misses outside. And the count now is 1 ball and no strikes to Okabayashi. As we said, we had to bounce into the other feed for a little bit. Arizona Cardinals says the Dragons' money line is the last leg of his parlay. How alive are the Dragons? Well, they got a chance. They got a runner on here. And here's the pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-0. The Dragons are definitely not dead yet. So 2 balls and no strikes it is. Right-hander again gets his sign. He's ready to go back to work. And here comes the offering here. Tanaka delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-0. So not only are they not dead yet, they're in a position where they can have 2 runners on and nobody out here in the 9th inning with the big boys in the batting order coming to bat. So we're going to find out what the Giants bullpen is made of. Some of our friends earlier in the chat were saying the Giants have been a mediocre team, and that is absolutely been the case. There is a fastball ticket for a called strike. Count is 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Okabayashi. The crowd for the Dragons, they are cheering their team on. It is certainly a change now in Japan. The restrictions are starting to come off. People are still wearing their masks in the stands, but there appears to be less and less. There's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, and that is going to be ball 4. Okabayashi is going to be awarded first base on balls. It is going to advance the pinch runner over to second. That's going to put runners at first and second. The Yomiuri Giant pitching coach is on a trot out to the mound as he wants to talk to his young right-hander Tanaka. And the Giants are definitely not dead yet as they got runners at first and second and nobody out. Well, if they don't score here, I would have a hard time seeing that they will be able to get it in the 9th inning. They've got the big boys in the batting order coming up as it's going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters now coming here as Kazuki Ito is coming to the plate. And then it'll be Hosokawa and Ishikawa to follow after that. So Ito tonight, officially 1 for 3. He's grounded into a double play. He has singled and he has flown out to left. So we're in a clutch or a important part in the ball game right now. And let's see what they do. They are squaring the bunt, so they've got 2 runners they want to get into scoring position for an opportunity to take the lead, and they got an inside move over to second base and getting back in time is the base runner. As there was no throw from Tanaka. They were getting a little read here. The catcher has come out to flash the signs as Yamase is giving his instructions to his defense. So Ito waggling the bat, but he's got it in a position where he can bunt. Here's the pitch from Tanaka. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is quickly 1-0. That actually drives me crazy a little bit when the batters are waggling the bat all over the place. And as they're waggling the bat, and then the next thing you know, the pitch comes in. They've got to steady the bat. I'd rather see them get set a little more early so they can see eyes, bat, and ball, rather than having that thing moving all over in front of their face for no particular reason. So 1 ball and no strikes it is here to Ito. It is crunch time here in Nagoya as the Dragons are trying to come back, and the pitch is delivered. It's a bunt. It's down. It's a good one. Tanaka fields it. His only play is to first. Nice bunt there by Ito. It's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to go in the books as 1-4. He's retired for the first out of the inning. Advancing over to third is the pinch runner for Oshima, and it'll be Okabayashi moving over to second. And that is going to bring up Hasakawa to the plate. So high fives all the way around. Takamatsu, by the way, is that runner who came to run for Oshima. He is at third now. So that is going to bring Seiya Hasakawa to the plate. He has been on base. He's reached base all 3 times he's come to bat. He's singled twice and he has walked. Well, all that there could go for naught because they could really use a base stock right here. A single could score 2 to put the Dragons in front. They've got 2 cracks to do it. Tanaka holds set, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that's down in the dirt. Really nice block there by the catcher, Yamasi. Keep that one from getting away from him. 1 ball and no strikes it is to Hasakawa. Crunch time in Chunichi. Or at least in this case, in Nagoya. The right-hander kicks and delivers. There's another fastball down, another block by the catcher Yamasi. It trickles up the third baseline. That's 2 balls and no strikes. So 2 balls and no strikes to Hasakawa. As we wait here is, of course, the most important part of the ball game. Our feed starts jumping around a little bit on us. So 2 balls and no strikes it is. As we said here a moment ago, we'll go to our B feed as our backup here. As we give you the little bit of a pause as we will try to give you the information as we move along, the frustrations of the Central League. And it looks like we have as Hasakawa has done something here. He's at first base. Have they scored a couple of runs or has he walked? We're going to find out here in a minute. The pitch came in and he hit a ground ball that was back up the middle for a base hit, and that has scored a pair of runs. And they have now taken the lead, have the Dragons. It is 4-3 here, an RBI single by Hasakawa. And that is where we stand in this one. Got our feed long enough here to be able to give you that information, as that is going to plate Takamatsu and as well as Okabayashi, and we have ourselves a 4-3 ball game for the Dragons. That is going to bring up the plate Takeya Ishikawa. Well, he is 0 for 3 tonight in this one, as he takes a first pitch ball that misses inside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. The slight pause there for everybody because we had the feed on awry. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. Well, what do you think of that? We've got a 4-3 lead for the Dragons. So 2 balls and no strikes. Our friend Arizona Cardinals is fist pumping because he's got the Dragons in this one. And here comes the 2-0 offering as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is popped up foul, coming over to the seats, but watching it drift into the seats. The first baseman for the Giants, and that is going to run the count to 2 balls and 1 strike to Ishikawa. So 2 balls and 1 strike. We are here in the last half of the 8th inning. The Dragons have just taken the lead 4-3. As the right-hander Tanaka ready to deliver again. He kicks and he fires. It's a breaking ball swung, and this ball is belted into deep left field. And this ball is going to be gone. A home run. Insurance for the Dragons. A 2-run shot by Ishikawa. And that is going to increase the lead to 6-3. Oh boy, the wheels have fallen off the apple cart here for the Giants in the 8th inning. A 2-run shot by Ishikawa here. This may have cemented the ball game for the Dragons. A big inning here as that ball was yanked to left field. And now it is a 4-run inning for the Dragons, and they now hold a 6-3 lead as Dan Visayado will stride to the plate. As the player comes back to the dugout, he's given a teddy bear, unlike what they do in North America with the shopping carts or the hockey helmets. He gets the teddy bear to hold up and to show the crowd and toss it into the seats. Well, Visayado now batting here as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Dan Visayado. Friend Alexander Leggett called for that home run, but he was about 2 batters too late. Or 1 batter too late. Shotgun shell says small ball comes through again. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count now is 1-1 to Visayado. Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. As Tanaka holds to the set position and now delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line. It's going to drift into the seats, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Visayado. So we'll see what the Dragons have up their sleeves to close this one out. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as Tanaka holds set and now delivers. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. Going to reach the seats over on the first base side, and the count is 1-2 to Visayado. Right-hander Tanaka ready to go back to work. Dragons are leading here now 6-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. There was a fastball swung on. This ball is lined past the diving second baseman Haruka into right field, and the Visayado keeps the train going with a single here. Oh boy, that's the 4th hit of the inning for the Dragons. And that is going to bring up the second baseman Yuki Fukunaga. Well, for Fukunaga in this one here, he is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single and 3 trips. We do have the pitching coach come to the mound, and that looks like it's going to be it for Tanaka in this one. Too little, too late, as the pitching coach for the Giants is coming out to hook his young right-hander. We'll be back in just a couple moments, everybody, as there is a pitching change. We'll get you that information in just a few. Here is our friend Steve.
Hey, guys. While the manager's searching for a relief pitcher, let me help you with some relief channels. On top of mine and Freddy's, you can always check out Redbeard Breaks, Zero Fox Sports. You know another Hollis build, check them out again. Maybe Beast and Beauty Breaks, or even Dab's Family. Oh, looks like they have their pitcher, so after the game, check out some other videos by Freddy. They're fun, they're cool. Enjoy the game, peace out, and cheers!
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be moving here still to the bottom of the 8th inning, as we are going to have to get you guys the feed update again, as everything has gone a little bit sideways. It is a 4-run rally here by the Dragons in their half of the 8th. That has put them up by the mark of 6-3. And we are just waiting as our feeds have gone a little sideways again. And hopefully we'll be able to get you resume that action here in just a moment. There has been a pitching change. So the Dragons are waiting on the Giants to go to their pen. been frustrating here tonight, that is for sure, which is another reason why we don't always do the Central League games too often, or more often than not. The feeds are inconsistent depending upon how or where you're getting them. The Pacific League is of the utmost consistency, that is for sure. So we wait here and we'll pause it out and we'll wait for you as we do get that change, and we'll see what the bullpen is going to be doing here for the Giants. We'll see if they have made the update on the main page at the NPB as Tanaka's night is completed. And it looks like they're going to be bringing in, it is going to be Yogi in to pitch. This is Yamato Yogi. So that is who we are going to see here. This is going to be a left-hander coming in. He is a rookie. He has worked in 11 ball games this year. 15 and 2/3 innings. He has walked 5, struck out 13. He's given up 7 runs. All have been earned, and he's got an ERA of 4.02. That is where we stand right now in this one here. So we'll just take a quick peek back over and see if there has been any changes to this point. Bisai Ado has got himself that single, as we mentioned. We're waiting here on the updated information as Yuki Fukunaga is coming to the plate. But as Fukunaga comes to the plate, not sure exactly what has happened here, but by the looks of it, we may have ourselves a home run here. We're still missing a little bit of this here. And when we come back, Fukunaga is given the always popular, what I would call it, the teddy bear. So that probably means he's bashed out a 2-run homer. If that's the case, then the score has gone up now to 8-3, but we can't get anything here to verify that quite yet. Maybe some of the folks in our stream can help us out. But that is going to be an 8-3 lead here for the Dragons, if that is correct. No wonder the feed has gone down. If it's a giant feed, nobody wants to see this. I think that's exactly what has happened. It's been a home run here for Fukunaga. That's a 2-run variety and increasing the score line to 8-3. We'll just color in all the boxes right now, but we can't get our feed as we've lost it. So we'll try to ad lib as we go along here with you. And it's going to send up to the plate. It's going to be Takuya Kinoshita. So 8-3 says Alexander Leggett. That is where we stand on the home run there by Fukunaga. That was on a 1-0 count. 2-run shot to left field. Well, that's going to bring up to the plate. It is going to bring Takuya Kinoshita to the plate. And he takes a breaking ball down, and the count to him is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. As we said before, the feed has been disrupted. We're going to try to hang this one in here with you all the way to the end. And if not, we might have to wave the white flag and give you some scores from around the NPB and then wrap it up if we aren't going to be able to get this feedback. Because reality of it is I don't know if the Giants are coming back in the top of the 9th inning. So we'll work at our best here for the next couple of moments to try to do this. But if not, we may have to wave the white flag ourselves and call it a night. See if we can get not only is our B feed a little bit on the awry, so is our C feed. Or maybe it's just seaweed. I'm not sure which one we would go with here. But on all accounts, maybe that's what's happened. Maybe some Yomiuri Giant fan fired the transmitter against the wall, and that is why everything has all gone sideways. We see that home run there by Fukunaga. He absolutely blasted that thing to left field. But nothing like dead air to keep you guys entertained. And I think Shotgun Shell's calling for us to throw in the towel. We might get a standing 8 count. What I'm going to do here, everybody, is I'm going to give you guys the roundup from around the NPB. There's only one other game that is currently in or progress, and in the bottom of the 8th inning, it's a 9-5 lead for the Bay Stars over the Swallows. That is in the bottom of the 8th inning. All of the other games in the Pacific League and the other game in the Central League are later starts. But I have to tell you this, as we are in the bottom of the 8th inning, I think we're going to be wrapping this one up here tonight and call it a night to come on back again tomorrow. All right, everybody. Our friend Shotgun Shell says, fired the transmitter. Yeah, more than likely, that's probably what happened. Some Giant fan took it out on it. Our friend Alexander Leggett says it's 4:16, so he's going to call it a night. And you know what, everybody? I don't think we're going to be sticking around here to fix anything up as we're in the bottom of the 8th. 8-3 for the Dragons is the score. We're going to have to wave the white flag here and call it a night as well. All right, everybody. Once again, we appreciate everybody for taking the time to listen to our Last Wraps channel. Unfortunately, tonight, the best of us has been taken care of by the transmitter. We'll be back again tomorrow night. Hopefully, you guys can join us for all the action as we are going to be back to the old reliable, which means Pacific League Baseball. And the two teams that we'll have for you guys tomorrow night are going to be the Saitama Sipu Lions and the Oryx Buffaloes, as that will be taking place at 10 o'clock Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern. Hopefully you can make it in here with us to be able to be on the call. Once again, everybody, we appreciate y'all for being here. Everybody who listened in the living room, Mick, Alexander, Shotgun Shell, our friend Jovan, who is here as well, Arizona Cardinals, Caleb, anybody that I missed, we appreciate you. Oh, living room as well. Can't forget the living room. And we also want to make sure that everybody here is going to come on back again tomorrow. Thanks again, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Well, I think the comment says it all in the chat. That's what I think of this, and that's exactly how it ends here tonight. 8-3 as we leave in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Dragons. If the Giants come back, it'll be one of the greatest victories of all time. Thanks, everybody, once again for being here. We appreciate you. We'll catch you again tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.